I got excited, very excited to see all of this.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the program. Tonight on the show, Ethan, Ralph, also Vito and Milo. I'm pretty sure everybody's coming on. Hi, henchmen. Welcome, everybody.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi. So last
Jesse.
episode, I had Milo Yiannopoulos. Okay, I call him Milo. He's like pretty much my best friend. But anyway, Milo was on the show, and an interesting thing had happened. Milo was supposed to go on the Dick Masterson program, and he was supposed to go on there with a fellow by the name of Ethan Ralph. And Ethan has been going through some troubles, okay? And you could say that pretty much at any point in human history, and that would still remain true. But for whatever reason, this particular time, Dick Masterson, even though he's the one who planned the entire event, decided to call the whole thing off and decided not to have Ethan Ralph on the show, and thus Milo not on the show. And so Milo was pissed. Ethan was pissed. Now everybody's flinging shit at each other. Everything's going fucking crazy. I was interviewing Milo about it. I start telling him about this thing called Juju the Cow. Okay. I don't know if anyone here is familiar.
Dick good, Jesse bad.
But Juju the Cow is a real deal thing where Dick Masterson likes to dress up as a furry cow lady for sex and get a sparkly dildo up the butt. And it seems like everybody now knows this on the entire internet, except for Milo Yiannopoulos, who you would think would be the first guy to know something like that. Like usually that would be the sort of thing that would come across his transom. No emphasis on the trans. Shout out to Miles. Anyway, the point is, so I was telling him about this Juju thing, right? You guys saw it, right?
Yeah, I was there.
It was a pretty good episode.
Amazing.
Everybody, I got tons
Great
of
episode.
good feedback about it. Everybody loved Milo on there. So Milo should be coming back on here tonight again, but I'm telling him about this Juju thing, that I've been screaming about for 5 years. Now everybody's like, yeah, we knew. You did? You did? Without me? Are you sure? I don't think so. And, of course, Milo, loves a little trouble, a little mischief. And so I convinced Milo to call Dick Masterson, do a little prank calling. Let's take a look at that right now, actually. This is just a clip from the last episode. Milo calling Dick Masterson.
Oh, you won't know this number either.
Damn. That was quite the reveal.
I'm calling from Florida Water and Power, and I was just wondering if I could speak. Hey, how you doing? Are you doing good?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing good. I wanted to talk to you about tomorrow.
Okay.
What happened, bro? What happened? You canceled on me again, didn't you? You worried about your Patreon. You don't want to get. Listen. What happened?
Flip side of his mind, man. He's totally.
He's fine. He's fine today.
No, he's been messaging me and the people I know to get to me all morning. What are you talking about? He's fine.
He's
a disaster.
Okay, all right. But I mean,
They're talking about Ethan there, obviously.
wouldn't that have made good content? I mean, we could have been.
I think so, man. It's too rough. It's
Really?
too rough.
Really? Come on, bro. You know Ralph. He's been to your house like a bunch of times. Like, can't we look after our brother? I mean, we weren't going to do anything.
No, we're not looking after him. It's supposed to be. Look, it's either a fun like sober intervention or it's cruelty.
Yeah, but you
on the cruel.
No, but you know that afterwards we would have had an opportunity to take care of the guy.
That's not how Xanax works, man. You know this. How much? What are you on right now?
Very funny.
Look.
So right there, Dick admits live on my show, unbeknownst to him, he admits that he has no care about Ethan. Now, Dick, if you don't know this, Dick Masterson's the one guy that Ethan Ralph's been listening to and been friends with and been loyal to this entire time. In fact, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Dick Masterson the first and only member of the Killstream Hall of Fame or whatever Ethan calls it.
Oh,
You remember
yeah,
that?
I think so.
Yeah, he like.
He was the roast, right?
Yeah, they had the roast and they inducted him and everything. And then I think after that he was like, "That's it. It's just him. That's the only guy I like." And he just gave up. Well, Ethan heard this. So here's the thing about PodAwful. I'm told every single day of my life that nobody watches PodAwful. But I'll tell you who does watch PodAwful. The people I talk about, Dirk, the people I talk about on PodAwful, okay? They watch it. And that's how, the internet is aghast at all times at the fact that I somehow seem to affect and create change and make insane things happen on these very airwaves. Well, the way that happens is these guys are watching. In fact, the real reason, I think it's obvious now that Dick Masterson canceled on Milo and Ethan is because Dick found out that Milo was going to be on my show the day before he was supposed to be on Dick's. And what would happen? I would tell Milo about Juju the Cow, and then boom, 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 boom. That thing there just then would happen. The phone call, by the way, ends with Milo trying to get Dick to moo at him. It's an insane, amazing phone call. We got it clipped on the YouTube channel, awful.tube. Subscribe. Anyway, the point is, Ethan saw the clip, got pissed, has now, for the first time ever that I'm aware of, turned on Dick Masterson. Friendship over, unblocked me on Twitter, said, Jesse, I want to come on PodAwful. Now, the last time Ethan was on PodAwful, you guys remember. How did that go?
I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
It was disappointing, to say the least.
Okay, yeah, not good. So, it was a very bad showing. But here's the thing. I didn't hate Ethan or anything. I just said that sucked. And then we moved on. And then he hated me and blocked me again. Right? Well, here's what happens. Ethan says, I'm coming on PodAwful. We're going to make this good. And this is what he said also. This is the most important part. He promised me that he would be sober as a judge. Okay? The famous Ethan Ralph line. Sober as a judge. Oh, I don't have any of my Ethan sound drops plugged in here. Damn, that sucks. All right, anyway. Well, we'll have him on the show. I guess I don't need him. Point is, I was just going to go, that's not true. All right, so now you know the sound drop. Anyway, Ethan promised he would be sober as a judge. So I think he's trying to work out how Discord works right now. We're going to get him on. We're going to get Vito on. Vito is, of course, Dick Masterson's co-host. He was going to be there too. He and Ralph had a back and forth on Twitter as well. It's going to be insane. This entire thing is going to be insane. Milo is coming on. We're going to have a bit of an intervention. But Ralph promises sober as a judge for this one. And the other thing he promises is this will be a good episode. I fucking hope so. Because, again, Ethan said, we got to do this. And you know what? I agree with him. It must be done. Because you know that Juju the Cow is sitting there milking in his pants right now. This is not going well for him. Ethan Ralph knows secrets about Dick Masterson that nobody else knows. And we are going to ask all of the questions. And we're going to find out everything, every single bean spilled tonight on PodAwful.
Jesse PS is legitimately the world's greatest guy.
Hi. Yay! Welcome to PodAwful. I'm your host, Jesse PS. You can follow me on Twitter at PodAwful. Check out our website, PODAWFUL.com. We're banned on lots of stuff. A lot of our content's missing from the internet. You got to get it over at PODAWFUL.com. We're live over at PODAWFUL.tv. Live every single day this week. We've got the chat room going on, which will, man, the chat room's going nuts right now. This is all fake. It's a wrestling work, guys. I have seen so many comments doing wrestling thing. Listen, I know Ethan's into wrestling. Leave me alone. Leave me out of it. There's no kayfabe. There's no, all of this stuff is gay and you stink and you're retarded. What else are they saying? Suffadax, they say in the chat room. Dick snorts pink Diddy powder. I don't even know what that means. And I don't want to know what that means, but welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Share that show. PodAlpha.tv is the short link if you want to share the show. Let me see what Ethan's saying. I've got him in the back here. He's working on his camera. Vito is here. All right, so we're going to, I mean, we don't want fucking Vito just sitting here, right? Like, that'd be weird, right? I don't know either. Actually, maybe we do. Maybe we just bring Vito on. Well, Ethan's trying to,
bring him in.
Yeah.
Ethan's trying to work out his camera right now, and he just got home. You know, he was in LA, the fires. He went all the way there to, I think, to see his son, but more importantly, to, you know, scream and holler at Dick Masterson, it seems. So I don't know. Well, I really don't, you know, people like to lump me in with, and I hate to even say this term now, the sector. You guys feel a fucking chill? People like the, yeah, it's, oh boy. It's getting a little spooky in here after that one. They like to lump me in with the sector. Now there's going to be people who are like, no, we don't. It's too late. I've already seen all of your Kiwi Farms posts where you go, kayfabe, it's kayfabe. Jesse he's working us into a shoot. Go back to middle school. Remember when your parents weren't divorced? Travel time. Nope. Go back there. No, it's impossible to remember something like that. Holy shit. Back before you had your first cigarette, but you were thinking about it. You thought, like, maybe I'll try one. Anyway, I think there's some ground rules we should cover here before I bring these guys on. Oh, Vito is saying, bring me in. Ethan just got back from LA. He's back in Honduras, wherever he's from now. And so before I bring Vito in, before I bring everybody in here, I just want to go over some ground rules so everybody understands how this is going to work. All right. Let me just throw this over here on the board. Okay. So again, Ethan promised that he would be sober as a judge, but we have a threat alert system here. And I just want to be clear. Again, Ethan claimed sober as a judge, but we will be monitoring the progress throughout the episode. We also have hungover as a surgeon, buzzed as a bartender, drunk as an airline pilot, zooted as a line cook, strung out as a rent boy, and giga fried as a Mexican tourist. Okay, so
my vote's on line cook.
What's that?
My vote is on line cook.
Okay, well, I don't know. I think we're going to be sober as a judge the whole time. We are currently at threat level sober as a judge. Let me just throw that on here. We're going to circle that one. Okay. So we are currently here. Now we could end up anywhere through here, but we're hoping no. We don't want any of this, Ethan. We don't want any of this. I'm on Ethan's side. I hate when a guy is doing poorly when it comes to drugs. I hate drugs. So we're going to help Ethan out. You know, I learned the error of my ways when I talked to Milo about this. So we're going to get it all figured out. We might get the hungover as a surgeon. You know, let's be honest. Let's be realistic about this one, right? And I think that one's fair. If we don't go further than airline pilot, I think we're good. Okay, so I'm going to bring these guys in, which means I'm going to go from here. Vito's in call-in, actually. We can just bring Vito in right now. I didn't even see that. Actually, Vito should have the ability to just come in here. I'm going to give him that ability. There you go. Hi, Vito. You're in. He's probably listening to the stream right now.
Yeah.
So he's probably a little delayed, and he doesn't really get in. He's never going to release his comic book. That's my Vito impression. Is that a pretty good Vito impression?
That is, actually.
All right. Let's see. It says I'm suppressed retard. He says, well, it says you're not on my end, retard.
Can
so
you just
now what?
toggle him server muted?
Yeah, I did.
There it is.
There we go.
There.
you
All
go.
right. Sorry.
You had me muted.
Okay. Do you see what the fuck I've got going on here, by the way?
Okay, but like instead of doing like a 5-minute routine about, oh, this guy can't even figure out his microphone here. Ooh,
I'm
why don't you look
vamping
and see that I'm fucking muted?
Hey, listen, I know
On our side, to be fair, on our side,
I know over on your little show, you can fill the time by reading your idiot fans' stupid super chats. But over here, I don't make any money.
You don't have any fans.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Yes. Thank you for stepping on the punchline. Anyway, so when's that comic book coming out, Vito?
That was like kind of like more like an art There was like a theoretical kind of thing. It was like a thought experiment.
I read it. I've seen it now.
So in a way, it's almost well. You already got it then, so we're good.
I gotta say, Mint Salad released your comic book against your will? Is that what happened?
She put out like an old like rough draft of it.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah. Well, I hope that was rough.
The actual comic.
I hope it was rough because it does need some more work. You do need to put in some more effort onto it. But I gotta say,
what do you mean?
Don't worry about that.
Give me a critique. No, what do you mean? Do you like it or not?
It's not terrible, but you cannot be making fun of Eric July's comic books.
In what aspect of Eric July's comic books can I not make fun of?
Layouts, art. Mostly layout. The art is okay. Maybe this is just my own personal taste. I believe that most of the characters in your comic book, Super Killer, which I saw because a retarded girl leaked your comic book because you made her mad, which is very funny, and I'm actually on her side about that and nothing else because she is a piss whore. What was I saying? Oh, I believe that the character designs.
She got beat on?
She got beat on. I believe that the character designs are like proportionally retarded. Like your main character, Super Killer is his name, I think.
Yeah.
He's like, he doesn't, there's something off about him. Like his arms are too short and his body's too wide. There's something just, I can tell whoever you've got drawing it. Who's the artist?
His name's Keter LeBeau.
I can tell. Ugh, that might be part of the problem. All right, well, let's build the wall and see if the
real problem is that like I get a lot of like weird different critiques, and a lot of it comes down to personal preference. But
right,
I don't look at that comic. I don't go look at that comic and go, "Oh my god, what a disaster!"
It's not a disaster. It's not a disaster. It needs polishing.
It is an indie. Well, it is an indie comic. That's not like to excuse everything, but like I did purposely seek out, not a guy who's like an established like comic artist. I was like, I kind of want it to have that like, I don't know, indie feel to it.
They're telling me to. They're telling me to kick you.
Maybe the proportions are.
They're telling me to kick you off the stream, Vito. And I don't know if I can disagree.
Well, I'm just genuinely interested in like people go like, oh, this comic's like such a disaster, and I go, I don't know, man. It seems pretty good to me.
Listen, I'm saying this.
I'm pretty happy about it.
I'm saying this not as a troll, but as an artist. It's not the worst. It does need polishing, and I'll tell you the writing is a little clunky in some parts where I'm a smart guy and I couldn't follow along, and then. There's also the problem, like the layouts are a little.
I wish
clunky.
I wish you'd sent me some notes. I mean,
the layouts are a little clunky, but listen, it doesn't matter. The thing's never coming out, so who cares? All right. Anyway,
the layouts. That's how they get you.
The layouts. So, are you saying that things are not laid out? That there's not a certain rhythm to comic books where you have to figure out the order of the panels?
I know. I just wish you had like an example of like what Dude, layout. Like
it's been like fucking 2 months or something since I looked at this thing. I know,
but you read it and it clearly stuck in your mind. You're like, oh, this layout's throwing me. I would think you would be like, well, right here,
sucks. This does suck.
Page.
Actually, the more I think about it, the worse it is. All right, let's do this. Let's get rid of all these other people and try to get Ralph in here and figure all this out. Because what even happened? You and Ralph had a fucking, what happened with that?
Well, it seems like what happened is Ralph came to California and he was unable to get on a show with Dick Masterson. I think he wanted to hang out with him and broadcast with him. And it seems like Dick believed he was inebriated. And
well,
said,
that certainly stopped them from having him on every other time.
Mm-hmm.
Dick Masterson, well-known sober guy. You know.
Well, I don't think he invites, Ralph over with the explicit intention of getting him wasted.
Well, we'll find out very soon if that's true or not. All right, let's do this, guys. Listen, if you want me to ask Ethan any question or Vito or whoever any questions on this one, and you are brand new here, you do have to pay a retard tax, which is called super chatting. So you can find our super chat thing over at buymeacoffee.com/podawful. I don't actually normally do super chats. Nobody who normally listens to the show has to do this. I'll just read your comments in the chat room. But if you are brand new here and you're just here for the drama, retard tax, go do it. It's pinned at the top of the chat. And Vito, I'll see you over in the other chat there. Thank you to the henchmen. Bye-bye. And also, you can join our Discord, podawful.com/Discord. Let's get Ethan on right now.
Is this a cult if I ever heard one? Yes, it is. It's a cult. I mean, it's the cult of cult.
All right, calling everybody. I'm just calling everybody, and whoever answers, we'll get them on here. Buy coffee. Do we have any? Maybe people already sent some in. I haven't even looked. Oh, yeah. Okay, people are sending stuff in. People are sending stuff in. We'll ask some questions here in just a bit. We're just waiting for... See, now Vito... What is Vito's excuse this time? He was just in. Now he doesn't know. Am I suppressing him in this group chat? Who do we got? Anybody answering here? I think everybody said no. Well, you know what? That's fine. I can just not do a show. It honestly does not even matter to me at all. Again, Ethan did ask for this. Vito says, I am no longer on. You have to answer the fucking call. I've entered a call. Now you enter the call, and then we're good. Ethan says, kicked? No, you're not kicked. All right, I'm going to try this one more time here. Holy shit. These boomers, man, they don't know how to use Discord. Actually, this might prove that Vito is not a pedophile. He can barely use Discord. For now, I guess. It should be fine. I'm in the call. They seem to not be able to figure out how to add themselves into the call. All right, we might have to do it this way then. We might have to get them just back into my on-air thing and try it that way. If you guys can't join the call in here, let's try this. Join my server and jump in on air. This is why I hate having... Oh, Vito figured it out. All right, so it's working, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what happened, or what was the excuse this time? Did I do this one?
Well, you didn't tell me. I don't... Why do you got two things going? I don't get it. I don't know.
Holy shit. But did you hear? I mean, I think this is proof that you're not a pedophile. That's nice.
Yeah, I can't navigate this Discord at all.
Yeah, how would you possibly be asking for underage,
I right-click on their sexy little bodies, and I can't even save as PNGs.
Right. Dude, I tried. I threw out a fucking bone to you there, and you typed the word "we" in all caps all over.
It's anime. It doesn't count. Right?
Fucking! I know that's your camp's fucking opinion on this, but golly, we'll talk to Ethan about that too. Now, can Ethan figure his way onto here?
She's a dragon. She's 1,000,000 years old.
I don't want to know about your proclivities whatsoever.
Her name is Mayumi-chan.
Fuck me, man.
I have a little doll. We go on adventures.
Let's see if Ethan figures out to join. All right, we might get him. I just got to watch now because I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Did you see, Vito, my chart?
Is it a no?
Well, yeah, I've got a chart. Now, Ethan promised to be sober.
Oh, how sober Ethan Ralph will
So he said he would be
show.
sober as a judge. Okay.
Sober as a judge.
That's what he said. He said he would be.
That's a good saying. You don't hear it very often.
It's very
surprised
rare.
That's in. You know, people say Ethan Ralph's not a writer, but that is a good line.
Ethan Ralph is actually a linguistic genius.
Be sober as a judge.
But we are going to be tracking him throughout to make sure that we stay at least in this area up here. We want to stay as close up here as we possibly can and not get anywhere near Gigafried as a Mexican tourist. Now, I want to do the right thing because now I don't think you know this, Vito, but Milo Yiannopoulos was on my show the other day.
I saw you guys were hooting it up.
Oh yeah, and we prank called your friend Dick, and he answered live on the air to PODAWFUL. It says access problem. Says Ralph. What? Okay. All right.
So you called Dick Masterson on the phone.
Yes. Well, Milo.
First off, can you hear me?
Yes. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Sober as a judge. It's Ethan Ralph.
No. Yes. As always, sober as a Mexican judge was the line. Get it right.
Whoa, I don't know about that one. Yikes.
I think I said Mexican judge, if I recall correctly. But no, I'm actually sober. I've been flying all day. I know that's my weakness. One of them. And pussy and Xanax.
You sound lucid. You sound,
I hope so.
Alive.
I hope so. And thank you, Vito. I appreciate that. I decided I had a lot of people tell me not to come on this show, actually.
What? Why would they say something like that? Who was it? I'll come to their house. I'll kick diapers at them.
Well, it was Dick Masterson.
Oh, okay. Well, that actually changes some things.
You talked to Dick? He told you not to come on here?
He said, do not come on this show. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't say that. No, he didn't say that, but I bet he's probably watching. Well, I would have to imagine so. But I don't know. Maybe he's busy, killing cats or something like that. I'm not sure.
How did you know? Hang on a second. I'm so excited that you know about that, Ethan, because I've known about that since like 2017.
Dude, I was shocked. I'm not going to lie. I was literally fucking appalled and shocked. And I'm going to try to show my camera. I can't, I'm not Discord.
If you can get it, if not, no.
Yeah, I'll get it. I should be able to get it.
And Vito,
but I had no idea. Vito, can you defend this story? And I know you love cats, right?
I do love cats. Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know the story.
I don't want to get you fired, but tell the story then, Jesse.
All right,
where was this story told? Who told this story? Did he tell this story?
This is a story told by. This is a story originally told by 80s Girl, actually.
Where?
Well, not publicly, obviously, but
no, I can find it because somebody tweeted at. I didn't believe it. I was like, "There's no way somebody's this fucking." I don't like the word evil, honestly, but this pretty fucking evil, right? I don't know. Killing cats is pretty fucking bad.
Well,
and killing a cat. Well, I mean, if it's trying to attack you, right? Okay, things has to happen. I didn't kill my cat the other day when the motherfucker attacked me. Right. But so the story is that 80s Girl got a cat from a guy who was on some fucking movie.
Hang on, Ethan. This part's important. Let me tell this part, okay?
Okay, tell it. Go ahead and tell it.
So it's not just some guy. 80s,
no, it's not.
80s,
yes, you're right. Go ahead.
80s Girl dated Greg Sestero from The Room. Okay? So the guy who's not Tommy Wiseau in The Room.
The other guy.
She fucked that guy. That is proven. That's a known thing. She fucked that guy. Dick hates Greg Sestero. You'll try to ask him, Vito, one day to watch The Room with you. See if he'll do it. And she was given a cat by Greg Sestero from The Room, you know?
They were dating?
Hi, kitty.
I would assume.
Yeah, when they were dating. So then he still had that, she still had that cat. Now, here's the thing. She dated. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on a second. Ethan Ralph, everybody. Look
Thank
at
you,
him.
sir.
Look at, that's actually him.
God.
Can you fucking believe that? That's
I almost didn't show up. I'm not gonna lie. And if I'm telling the truth, I had a whole elaborate plan for Vito to come in here and troll you and to not show up. To be honest, and I could tell that you could kind of smell it a little bit because I was like, I want Vito in here first, right? And you know, I could feel it. I could feel that you could kind of tell what was going on, and Ralph's gonna pull some type of trick. And then I said I would be a pussy bitch if I didn't show up on this program tonight, and so here I am.
Yeah, you had to do it. I knew that you'd be backed into that corner, and so I never had a single fear in my heart about this. Everybody all over the internet was saying you aren't. This is like some cave.
I was gonna show. Yeah, it was fake. It's not actually. I wish it was because. Anyway, go ahead. Finish the story. Finish the story.
Point is now. 80s girl dated 80s girl's Dick's wife. Are they? She's having his baby.
Of course not. What, are you crazy?
I don't know. They're boyfriend and girlfriend as adult fucking 50
common law wife, I guess. But yeah, go ahead.
So she's having his kid now, right? Anyway, the point is she dated Maddox and Lord knows how many other people in between Greg Sestero and Dick Masterson. But Dick's dream is to be Hollywood Dick Masterson. He wants to be Hollywood Dax. And so he's been incredibly jealous of that story of Greg Sestero this whole time. So he forced 80s girl to have her cat destroyed.
I don't think that's not the story I heard.
100%.
Okay, what'd you hear
true.
then?
Yeah, what'd you hear?
Because that's the story I heard, and I don't know the truth. But when I heard that story, I was like, that's the most fucked up thing. I mean, you know, molesting children. No offense. I mean, I've heard more fucked up stories, but it's one of the more fucked up stories that I've heard, right? Like, it's like, oh, your boyfriend gave you this cat, so take it to the kill shelter, and, you know, they're not going to survive. An adult cat has, like, I don't even know, like a 4% chance of getting out of a kill shelter, right? Like,
right. Okay. So yeah, they brought it to a shelter. What I heard was that it is one of these shelters that if the cat doesn't get adopted, they'll kill it. But it's not the same as like bringing it to the shelter and being like, "Hey, feed this cat in the grinder." Like,
no, but he took it to the kill shelter. An old cat. What do you think happened to that cat, Vito? Seriously,
look, I don't know.
He's dead.
Hey,
what
Vito,
the fuck? Like, I mean,
hey, Vito, what do you think happened at the kill shelter?
They found it a loving home. Of course.
Hey, Ethan, you should rename your show to The Kill Shelter. That would be actually a great.
And put a little image of a cat down the bottom. Yeah. Dude, I couldn't believe that. I'd never heard that story. So I don't know all the lore. And I'll tell you why. Because Dick was my good friend. At least I thought so. And, you know, he'll have all kinds of reasons why I'm doing this. And, you know, Ralph's an addict and this and that. Guess who's an addict? Dick Masterson is a drug addict. And he told this story on air 2 weeks ago. This is the reason I came on your show, Jesse. I was going to bounce, actually. The reason I came on your show, he told this story 2 weeks ago. A person I cannot name publicly due to legal restrictions left me. And they left me while I was at Dick's house.
And what are those legal restrictions, by the way?
Well, I can't get into that, Jesse. Right? You know,
you can't say names. You can't talk about.
I can't say names, right? And you know, it's unfortunate. I will say we have something we share in common. Let's just put it that way, right?
You've had a bit of a disagreement.
Yes, we've had a disagreement. Not speaking about any particular names. I have to be very careful about this. All like right. That's something I can't fuck around about.
You got it.
But anyway, it happened while I was at his house. So the first thing I did, brilliant me, I poured up a full glass of Wild Turkey 101 and drank the whole fucking glass. Okay. And so then I did a stream, of course, and Dick, to his credit, said, "Hey, don't do the stream, Ralph. Like, you're not in any mood. Like, don't do this." And I did it anyway because I'm me. Like, I'm like, whatever, fuck it. And so I got on air and I said all this shit. And then after, I don't remember what happened, but I went into his drawer in his kitchen where he keeps all his drugs. And
his drug drawer.
his drug drawer. I'm not kidding. He has a box. Vito, don't even lie. You know I'm telling the truth. He has a box of drugs in his fucking kitchen. No, but you know I'm telling the truth, though.
I know, but
right?
like, I feel like I'm on a back foot here to be
no.
Hey, Vito.
Vito, you're here.
You don't have to confirm. You don't have to confirm,
Well,
but I'm telling you, he has a box of drugs in his kitchen.
His drug drawer. Vito, have you ever rifled? Have you ever rifled through the drug drawer? Vito, have you ever rifled?
Have I ever gone through the drug drawer?
Yeah.
I go to Dick's house. He's got a great espresso machine. I make myself a nice.
He does
coffee.
have a great espresso machine.
He's got a great
I will say that he really does. He really does. And 80s girl kills it with the espresso. I will say that 100%. But he also has a drug drawer full of all kinds of substances. Like I don't even know.
Okay, so hang on. In fairness, Ethan, I don't mean to stop you, but in fairness, isn't it possible that the drug drawer actually belongs to his girlfriend, the school teacher?
Look, man, I don't want to go there.
You already went there on Twitter.
Well, you know, that was a mistake. I don't feel like that's appropriate to do. But you know,
there's one thing me and Ralph will both agree on is 80s girl is a very nice person.
I do agree with that. And
really
I feel bad. You know what makes me?
I think that's simp behavior because she was a webcam, model.
Well, I'll tell you the simp behavior later on. The simp behavior was not letting this debate happen between me and Milo. That was a simp behavior because she's the one who called it off. And I found that out later on.
Well, hang on. Do you believe that though, Ethan? Like, doesn't that sound like an excuse?
She told me on Instagram that she was psyched for it and she was hyped for it. And like, let's, I hope we can get together and have dinner and we'll have a show. And she seemed excited. Now, Milo said that she called it off. Now, I don't know what's true, but I just know what Milo said. And so I can't say for sure.
Right.
But that's what was said, right? That she called it off. And if so, she lied to my fucking face. Well, to my virtual face, right? But she's like, yeah, let's get together. And I always liked her. She's always been great to me. I won't say a bad word about her. And I don't think it's fair to try to fuck up her life.
Listen, I don't want you to say anything bad about her if you don't want to. But
I don't want to.
Have you ever seen her bent over in the schoolgirl outfit or no?
No comment. I'll say.
Okay, that's good enough for me.
I didn't see it personally. I saw it because you spread it all over the internet. But whatever. Anyway,
that's true.
I didn't see it in person, but she's always been fabulous to me, actually, and a great person. This is a sad thing for me.
She seems like a great gal.
I talked to Vito about this. I talked to multiple people, some who said, do not go on the show. And this is actually a sad thing for me. It's like, okay,
the sadness is your relationship with Dick, correct? Like this is a relationship.
Well, both of them.
I wouldn't say that, she hasn't said to you, hey, Ralph, fuck you,
well, no, but I assume she feels that way now. I
wouldn't assume that. Obviously, Dick's the man of the house, and she's the girlfriend, so she's got to go along.
The girlfriend of the house.
What's going on or whatever.
Well,
else.
I felt bad because these were my friends.
Just likes you,
Dude, these were my friends for 6 years. We went all over the country, almost the world. They were going to come down here to Mexico and booked a trip and all this stuff. Like. It wasn't just like a streamer thing, right?
I get it. Here's the thing, though. Like, do you think Dick dislikes you as a person now? Like, he thinks you're a bad person?
I mean, he called me a fucking drug addict when he uses more drugs than Pablo Escobar. Like, what in the fuck?
If somebody called you a drug addict, would they be like completely off base in saying that?
No,
have there been points in your life where
but if they called Dick Masterson a drug addict, would they be off base?
That's very possible. The same thing could be leveled at him.
Watch the Patreon bucks, Vito. Be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful.
I mean, he's obviously an alcoholic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's an alcoholic and he's a drug addict.
The man's
now, what he thinks his difference is he's a drug connoisseur. He knows how to control it and just how much to use and only on occasion. No, he's a drug addict, just like me.
So you're saying that he's being hypocritical in his.
Yes,
I don't want.
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Ralph's a little too wasted right now.
Yes.
Look. Yeah, I mean,
but I wasn't even wasted. That's the whole thing. Like, okay, when I came in on Friday, I had a couple drinks on the plane, right? And I already talked about the rehab stuff. I won't go into all that. But I did have a couple drinks on the plane. I guess I put out some stupid video. Me and Milo were talking about beating each other with crowbars. We talked in DMs about making it as crazy as possible, right? Because nobody would believe it unless it was crazy, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, you're 6'3", well, I'm gonna hit you with the crowbar, bitch, and then you'll be down to my size, right? And so we were just saying all kinds of crazy shit. I had a couple drinks on the plane. I think I put out a video. I don't even really recall. And then all of a sudden it's like code 5 alert, code 4, whatever the fuck, the highest code that Ralph's fucked up and he can't be trusted and this and that. And Saturday I woke up and like, I'm ready to go. You know, should I have had those drinks on the plane? No. But I mean,
a few.
We had a huge event. It was me and Milo. Everybody was gonna be watching that. It was gonna be fucking funny as shit. And at the end, me and Milo were gonna shake hands and hug. Like, I love that guy. And he talks shit about me. I talk shit about him. We've known each other for 10 fucking years.
Hey, I'll say this. I want to say this. I had Milo on the show on Friday. I tried to get him to talk shit. I mean, as a joke, but I tried to get him to talk shit about you. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do a little joke here or there.
I did hear the eulogy. I did enjoy that, actually. Yeah. The eulogy was pretty funny. But he really didn't. He actually told you to stop at one point. He's just like, hey, just stop.
He straight up said to me that he's actually worried about you. And let's be clear, Dick Masterson that's all right. Dick don't fall off your chair into a big pile.
No, I won't. This is a whole different chair. This motherfucker's so sturdy it would hold up. Never mind. I won't finish that joke.
We will be putting that to the test at some point. But listen, the point is, I believe that Milo actually does care. From what I've spoken to him about, to him about you. But Dick Masterson does not, because Dick Masterson was caught in 4K on the phone saying that you are nothing but entertainment, but content to him. He does not care about making you better whatsoever. And this is the guy. I mean, let's face it, Ethan. Like, we had a little bit of a run-in before this, but, it
was because of him.
My big history with you starts more or less at you sort of defending the fuck out of Dick Masterson.
Well, because first off, look, I don't want to get into that stuff totally because I don't know like all the ins and outs there. But yeah, I just defended him because he's my friend.
Right.
I was like, okay, this is my boy. This is my boy. I don't give a fuck like what he did.
Yeah,
that was my stance.
But
because that's how I was raised. I'm from Memphis, dude. It's
I agree.
Okay, that's my boy. Right. Like, okay, that's my boy.
I'm on your side on that. I'm on your side. Of course, that's what I would do too. But the problem is that's a one-way relation. That's a one-way street.
Well,
he never felt that way about you. And by the way, Vito, you've called into my program before, a few after shows and stuff. And I've said the same thing to you. It's the same fucking deal. With Vito, you were hired on The Biggest Problem to be a punching bag. He wouldn't have hired you if you weren't, a big fat guy, basically.
Well, he knows that, and I don't even blame Vito for taking the job. Like, I mean, I would cash that check too. Like, I mean, what the fuck? But like,
I have a different look. I will say that I think a thing with Dick.
I'm gonna scoot eventually.
I think the best way to put this is, he is a guy who doesn't, want to get involved in other people's problems. And both me and Ralph are guys who have made problems for ourselves.
What? No, Vito. His whole show is him getting involved in other people's problems.
Well, he can.
But like, if it's his friend, he doesn't really like. He'll give you like a one-line response. Vito knows what I'm talking about. Like, I'll write this thing out, and it might be something really serious in my life, and he's just like, "Well, you know what you can't do now," or, who knows what could happen, right? I wanted a relationship back at one point. I won't say who, and. You can probably figure it out. But he's just like, well, you never know what could happen. And it's like, really? Is that like the response? Like, I mean, and I don't know. I get it to a certain degree. Like, just don't get involved with people's shit, right? But it's also, it's quite cold is what it is.
Do you feel,
in my opinion,
do you feel, Ralph, at all betrayed? Like, I know you heard the phone call that Milo had.
Yeah.
Did you feel betrayed? What was your feeling in that moment?
When I heard it, yeah, I did actually. And I listened to it a couple times because I wasn't sure. Do you have a transcript of it? Because I've heard a couple different like interpretations of the call. But yeah, he seemingly basically said, I don't give a fuck about Ralph.
I actually played it at the top of the show. And what he says directly is that he basically says to Milo, you know how it is. It's not about actually doing an intervention. It's about content, and you're better off, basically drunk. That's the way he said it. Now, maybe
that's what he said. I didn't hear this call.
Yes, it's on the. We just played it.
You can play it again.
I'll play it.
But that doesn't make any sense. Why would Dick want Ralph drunk and then Ralph gets drunk?
Now what Dick said on air, and I want to give him fair play here. He said on air that it would be unfair to Ralph to have him out there like all sloppy and shit during an intervention or whatever. I heard that part.
But is that the reason, or is it 80s girl is the it can't be both of those. Come on.
Well, I know it can't be. It has to be one or the other, or another unknown. The known unknowns, like Roosevelt said, and the unknown knowns. But yeah, I don't know why he didn't do it. Did he think I was gonna punch 80s girl in the stomach, or like what? Like what did he think I was gonna do?
That's what he thought.
No, but seriously, I've been to his house so many times I can't even fucking count. Did he think I was like gonna start breaking shit, or like hit him over the head with a bottle, or attack his common law wife, or like what did he think I was gonna do?
Maybe he was. He has a dog, right?
He does have a dog.
He does have his dog loves me better than him, by the way.
I don't know. Maybe he was afraid that you would have it destroyed like that cat or something.
Ralph with the ultimate win. That dog likes me better than Dick.
Didn't you hang a dog or something? Isn't there a story about you hanging a dog?
I didn't hang a dog. Somebody accused me of that. Yeah,
that's a crazy story. If
you couldn't hang this dog though, this motherfucker's like 300 pounds, but needs to go on a little bit of a diet. Ozempic. I don't know if it works for dogs or not, but anyway, no, I did not hang a dog. Regardless. Now I lost my train of thought, Jesse.
I'm sorry, man.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Do you want me to play the clip?
What did he think like I was gonna do, or me or Milo were gonna like fight Milo, the fucking
I think he was
gay guy,
like gonna be like pass out, fucking wasted, man, and that it was gonna be like bad for you. I think that's what he thought.
Is that what you really think?
Well, why
because,
else? I don't think he's ever been
messaging him.
But you've never been violent towards him. I don't see that being
never. No, because I mean, probably get my ass kicked for one.
Let's be clear. Okay, so when were you at his house? Weren't you at his house this summer or last summer?
Yes, and I'll tell you a story about that.
Let's hear it.
And so I went over the summer, and I've been sober for about 60 days or so. I went to California. I smoked weed. I'll be honest with you. I smoked weed. I fell out on the couch.
Fuck, dude.
Because I was tired.
Come on.
I know. Oh my God, I smoked weed. But anyway, I shouldn't have done that. I'm not defending it.
I'm
not defending it. Anyway, I did that. And so I fell asleep on his couch, and he's just like what's going on? Mary Jane, a viewer of mine was there, and he's just like, what is this guy on? Is he on Xanax? Is he on drugs? And like just enraged. And A.O. Anderson, another viewer, he's like, where is this guy? Is he gonna come get Ralph? I was just sleeping on his fucking couch, dude. Like, I mean, there was nothing going on there. And so I heard that story, and that was actually what brought me on this show tonight, because I heard that and I was just like, who talks like that about a supposed friend?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then the story he told that we're going back to earlier about how, the breakup happened and all this stuff. And I was super fucked up, no lie. And I took 50 hits of acid by accident, and you can't OD on acid, but you can get really fucked up. And he's like, man, that was really
acid by accident.
Yeah, because I was blackout drunk and I just knew where the drug drawer was and I opened it and took the acid.
In fairness, when there is a drug drawer, that seems like an accidental kind of thing.
But were the tabs all like stuck together? You thought it was one big tab?
It was liquid drops, dude. There was not tabs.
A random bottle of liquid
I just said
acid.
boom. Yes. I just tipped it. And anyway,
can you understand why you might be a little concerned? You know, I
woke up the next morning, and this is a verbatim quote. He said, "You're lucky you didn't swallow this tube here, because this is some experimental shit somebody else sent me. I don't even know what it is. You'd be dead right now."
He's doing research chemicals.
And I'm like, I was glad I wasn't dead, obviously. But I was like, okay, well, maybe you shouldn't have that in your drug drawer.
That explains the cow
shit. It looked just like the other vial, too. And I'm like, okay. But everything I'm saying is the absolute truth. And he told this story on air like 2 weeks ago, and he said I was buck naked, which I wasn't. Like, just trying to diminish me. And this story was retold to me by Mary Jane and a couple others. And that's actually what made me come on this show, because it's like, you don't have to add anything to Ethan Ralph swallowing fucking 50 hits of acid, right? Like, that's funny in and of itself, right? Like, Jesse, do you have to add anything to that, right? Like, I mean, that's just hilarious.
That seems all right for me. I'm fine with that.
So I heard that and I was like, did he really do that? And I heard the clip, and yeah, he did. And he's like, Ralph was buck ass naked on the floor and we thought he was gonna die and this and that. And it's like, you think for a guy who knows so much about acid, you would know you can't actually die from 50 hits of acid, but whatever.
You die from when the guy on acid grabs a kitchen knife and goes on a rampage. That's the problem.
Yeah, but that's what the fuck. If anything, I would have killed myself, Vito.
No, hang on a second.
Fucking my relationship just broke up. What the fuck? I mean, that wasn't his fault. That wasn't his fault.
Ethan, in fairness, let's say you're that 50 hits of acids I mean, come on, that is insane, right?
That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie, but I lived.
But
what the fuck?
Of course. But of course you would. You're the your constitution. You're the
alpha male.
The alpha male. So the point I'm saying is you're that high, and you're gonna start seeing things. I mean, the machine elves are gonna get
believe
to you.
me.
But imagine a guy dressed as a cow comes at you while you're that high. You're liable to do anything in that moment. He's squirting his udders at you and jacking off with a purple dildo.
He's never gonna forgive me for telling this story, and I know people don't believe it, but we went to a rave. It was Playa or something in Vegas, and we went with the head of Odyssey, Julian. We went with Dick, and we went with 80s Girl. And me and Julian are just wearing regular clothes. Way too light, by the way, because it's super fucking cold in Las Vegas on New Year's Eve. Just spoiler alert. Anyway, I was way underdressed, but I didn't care. It's like, okay, I've never been to a rave. Ecstasy's everywhere. Whatever. Okay, let's do some drugs. I swear to God on my life, and I won't put my children into this, I'll just keep myself here. They both had on matching cow outfits. I swear to God. I swear to God. And I didn't understand. I was like, I don't know if they were playing into maybe they were playing into the meme, to be fair.
No,
I don't know.
No, he doesn't do that.
No, they literally both had on matching cow outfits. I swear to God. Ask Julian. Like, I don't know if he'll tell you the truth or not, but I swear to God.
When was this? When was this?
This was
like
2021,
Vegas, right?
the last day of the year, 2021. Yeah.
Crazy. That was probably like right after.
And you can look, I can probably find the event that it was at. Let's see, Playa 2021.
That's insane.
New. I checked my phone for pictures, by the way, but I didn't take pictures because I wasn't trying to embarrass him. That's the thing. But he loves embarrassing me for some reason. Okay.
Just to be clear, at the time, you didn't know about the cow thing, right?
No, I didn't, because I never read any of that stuff. Jesse, that's what I tried to tell you at the beginning. It's like, I didn't read any of those files because it's like, it's my friend. I don't even care. Like, right. I didn't want to know.
Okay.
Like, it's like, whatever. That's why I don't know all the lore. I don't know about the cats and all that stuff, because I just didn't read it on purpose. Because like I don't want to know that about my friends, right? Playa Playground. That's what it's called, actually. Playa Playground. And here is the link. December 15th, right here. This is it. This is what we went to.
December 15th.
Right here.
December 15th
well,
of 2021.
No, the day was actually later. It was New Year's Eve or whatever. But that's a article about it right there.
All right.
And it was terrible except for the drugs. Those were good. But the MDMA was good. And he did hook me up with MDMA, so I will give him credit there. Two rolls, so that was pretty nice of him there. Have you ever done mushrooms with Dick?
Do you know if he does them? Do you know if he does them?
I don't think Dick's really a mushroom guy. I've only ever done acid with Dick.
Honestly, that shocks me because don't mushrooms grow on cow shit?
All right, now you're reaching.
That was a little too much. No,
Am I wrong?
But I've done plenty of acid.
On that one, Jesse.
Like I don't have problem. Like acid. If you want to do some acid, do some acid. Don't do 50 hits. But like, we had a lot of fun. We talked about doing acid on New Year's Day in Las Vegas. This was the day after. We did acid. We did Molly the night before. We did acid the day after. Got kicked out of Binions like Hunter S. Thompson. Even he didn't get kicked out. And all these stories are public knowledge. And I don't even care that he does drugs. Why would I? Like, I care that he's calling me a fucking drug addict when he's a fucking drug addict. That's what I fucking care about.
Right. It's the hypocrisy.
Yeah, it's the hypocrisy, and it's living around drugs when you're,
I mean, I've
got
seen
some questionable associations.
Okay, well, let's
just leave it there.
No, let's talk about those questionable associations. What is the deal there?
I don't want to go into it, but that's a problem, and you're risking somebody else's life by doing that, and you don't care.
Do you think it's at all a questionable association for Dick and anybody else that you might be inferring or referring to here? To have like not only be doing these drugs, which they're adults, whatever, who gives a shit, but
do drugs, I don't care about that at all, obviously.
But then what about the part of having like an autistic retard underage girl around while you're doing it and stuff? Is that weird or is that cool? I don't.
I don't know who that is.
Mint salad.
Oh,
well,
Mint
is retarded, but I don't see her around, so.
Well, she wasn't.
Hates Mint, by the way. You brought the right topic.
Yeah, I know. I mean, am I wrong? Wasn't she hanging out there at his house when she was like 17
as far as I know,
years old?
She's not into that type of stuff, to be honest with you. But I wouldn't know. I made up the lie that we banged or whatever. That did not happen, to be clear.
I was going to ask you about that.
No, we did not bang. I just said that because she knocked the shit out of me right in the fucking mouth. And then I spit blood in her face, and I had to get one over on her. Right?
I gotta be honest.
Get one over on the woman. Hey, I fucked you, bitch. But I like Mint a lot actually, and she's great. So I don't want to say anything bad about her, and I don't really think I'm saying anything bad about Dick. Maybe Vito disagrees. I'm not sure, but
well, I guess I'm trying to figure out like what your interpretation. Like you seem to think. Actually, I don't know what you think. Do you think Dick dislikes you?
Like, I think he probably does now. Yeah, but like,
well, yeah, but I mean, right now he might have a better reason to. You're on here talking about cow shit.
Well, you're on here, so
I didn't talk about cow shit, to be clear. But anyway, go ahead.
No, I just want I don't. Here's the thing with I think you guys
just do the event, Vito. Just do the event. That's my thing. Me and Milo had this set up. Say we were both a little tipsy, and I wasn't on that Saturday. That Friday I was.
Yeah.
But say we were both a little tipsy. What do you think? Me and Milo Yiannopoulos are gonna break his studio or kick his TV in or why are you cucking the content? And that's another reason I showed up tonight, because I was like, they're gonna call me a content cuck, and I can't have that.
Can't have that.
So that's another reason that I showed up here tonight. But why not just do the event? He even said that, Vito. He said that to your face. He said maybe I should have just done the event.
I'm gonna say like that overall is a small issue whether or not Dick Masterson decides to do a Saturday show with you. I mean, it's not like a.
Is it small? Me and Milo Yiannopoulos, who go back 10 fucking years, two of the fucking kingpins of the last 20 fucking years online.
They're on the Mount Rushmore of Gamergate, Vito.
Literally, we're on the Mount Rushmore of Gamergate. You mean that's not a big deal? Is that what you're telling me?
But then you're telling me, is the core issue a lack of, understanding of like what great broadcasting you missed out on? It sounds like something more personal than that.
Have a laugh. Do you think any of this is great broadcasting?
No.
It's not. They work for TV. Professional broadcasters work for fucking television. We're not professional broadcasters, dude.
I'm saying, but like, it's a disagreement over. He goes, I don't want to do the show. I think it's not going to be good, and I'm worried about your, your mental health or whatever. And okay, so he cucked the content. I mean, but we like, it seems
but
like
was
now
it really that?
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Or was it? Oh, 80s girl. I don't want this guy around. Like That's what Milo said. Maybe Milo just said that to stir the pot. I don't know, but like,
I do not believe that Dick Masterson thought you were going to assault 80s girl. I don't think that ever came up.
I hope not, because I never have and never would, and like her a lot better than him. Because she's a better person. Not that I'm the greatest either.
Anything like that. I can't imagine that's the reason.
Well, I know that didn't Milo say on your show that she shut it down?
I believe he did say that.
But why would he know that?
Well, because he talked to Dick beforehand to set up the show.
They would.
Milo's claiming Dick said, "Hey, I really want to do it and it would be great, but 80s girl is worried, so that's why I can't do it." I don't buy that.
Yeah, well, Dick could be lying too, right? Like he could just be saying that because he doesn't want to do it,
well,
right?
A lot of speculation.
Let me throw in.
So I was there in the summer, and Dick said I looked like death warmed over, is what he said actually the other night, which I didn't. I looked a lot better than you, quite frankly, Vito. And I'd lost 100 fucking pounds.
I know,
and he said that. He said that. And I didn't look like death warmed over. I looked like a guy who had been sober for 60 minus the weed. That
sober as a judge.
Okay, Cali sober, as they call it. And so I didn't look bad at all. I looked much better than you and arguably him with that fucking whatever Jerry curl he's got going. But
but if that's
am I wrong? And you didn't say shit. You didn't say shit. You laughed at that. And I didn't look like shit that night. And you thought it was funny because your paycheck depends on that.
Wait. When did I think it was funny? You taking 50 tabs?
He literally said, "Oh, Ralph looked like death warmed over the last time he was here," which I didn't. We have the episode on YouTube, The Biggest Problem in the Universe. Me, you, and Dick. And I thought it was a great show.
With that episode, I think.
Did I look bad that night? Like, I mean, seriously.
Well,
I thought you looked handsome.
You were doing the kill stream from his house over the summer as well, right?
No, I only been to his house one time in the past, like, I don't even know, a year and a half or 2 years almost.
There was a period of time when you kind of
so twice. So April 2023, which was the disaster stream, as I call it, and then
why was it
summer,
a disaster stream?
I just got through telling you because I fucking took 50 hits of acid and drank my brains out because my relationship just got fucking obliterated.
So all I'm saying is, look. Dick obviously likes you. If he doesn't have people stay at his
that's
house,
not obvious.
He's had you stay at his house. You guys have hung out. I'm sure he likes you. Maybe or at least there was a period of time.
You know what?
Where we can confirm that he liked you. Maybe it's changed.
Well,
I don't know.
I can tell you this.
He's always been using you for content.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Okay. But you know who did say that? Mary Jane, the chick I talk to, who watches my show every day and a big supporter of my show, told me he's been using you for years. He doesn't give a fuck about you. He's feeding you drugs. He doesn't care. He just wants to use you for content. Yeah, he lets you stay at his house, but he doesn't really give a fuck about you. Every time he talks about you, it's like in a diminishing way usually, and like the whole Southern accent that's even worse than PPPs, right? And it's like, I'm not saying I believe that, but I know people who do believe that. I don't want to believe that because then it's like, well, 6 years of my life, I just got taken for a dupe, right? So no, I don't want to believe that. And In my heart, I don't believe that. But like, you know,
look, I will tell you an anecdote right now. I obviously go over there to do the podcast, and half the time I go over there and the kill stream is on. Okay, Dick's laughing his ass off. 80s girls laughing her ass off. Now you can argue, oh, well, they're laughing at me and they actually hate me. I think they think you're a talented broadcaster and they like.
Well, that's the thing.
But the last time, you know, you've come through their house.
But tell him he's handsome, Vito.
You know, okay, you can say, look, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation why I got totally wasted. I accidentally drank a bottle of acid. Okay, but it's fine that he, as a guy who's got a pregnant girlfriend, is a little like on edge. Like, I don't know. I hope Ralph's not, you know, gonna have a repeat of that. You know, I think there's too much being made out of
I drank all the acid. I can't repeat that one.
And
but
where is the evidence that that's his kid, by the way? I mean, why should he care?
Well, that's the strongest point you made, to be honest, tonight, at least. But like, I wasn't like, what do you think? I was shooting up heroin? Like, I don't do that. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, yeah, I drink every once in a while. Like, I
make a very good argument. Like, you know, he's being too, you know, he's worrying too much. He doesn't know what's actually going on. You know, but I think you're taking it to a place of, oh, this lady told me he never liked me and he feeds me drugs and he's just using me. And
I'm saying what she said. I'm saying what she said. I'm not saying I believe that.
But you know, Dick, you have hung out with Dick. Whenever you were hanging out with him, did you ever get the vibe this man is trying to feed me drugs to use me for content?
No.
Well, there you go. So why are you listening to this bitch? She's crazy.
Well,
unless I'm just manipulating you for content and I'm very good at it, but I don't think I am. So
you know, I'm not. I never said he was, but there's that belief out there, and she's not the only one who thinks that. And they think it about me, they think it about Ricada, and they think it about other people. And it's like, you know, I'm not saying I believe that, but what I'm saying is there's a common thought, and you too, Vito, by the way.
Ralph,
he brings fat Vito around too.
I go out and I grab kids and I shove them in the back of a van and I rape them. And if I wanted to, I could spend my whole life obsessing over what stupid little internet trolls are saying about me. Or I could just enjoy the kid rape and not, worry so much about the commentary on it.
Please, God, don't do this, Vito. Look, that's going to get clipped. But anyway.
Anyway, the point is, Ralph, you worry too much about the perception and the haters. And, well, you know, it doesn't even matter if Dick actually likes me because people think he hates me and that makes me look bad. Just be a happy guy. Like
okay, I was happy. I went to California. I got to see my son, who was the light of my life. And you wouldn't even believe... Dude, you wouldn't believe how down I was over this because I had a really bad week. And it's like, okay, I set up this Milo. Dick asked me, he said, hey, is Milo in? And I said, yeah, he's in. I set it up. Not him, me. And then he contacted Milo later on. And I was like, man, hey, I kind of need a big W. Like, I just passed out in my fucking chair and busted my head and all this shit, like looking like a fool, right? I kind of need a big fucking clippable moment, right? And so when he canceled that.
Why do you need that?
Because that's how you fucking win, Vito. Like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, that's how you... Money, goddammit. What do you think I'm doing here, charity?
So it's a financial issue. You
yes, nigga. What the fuck?
He lives in Mexico for crying out loud, Vito. What did you not buy? He lives in Mexico. There's chickens running around.
Ralph,
you know what I mean? Like, I do it for fun too. But this is my job, Vito. It's your job. Like,
I get it. I get it. And part of how you make money,
Dick Masterson treats it like a job.
Look. I'm going to say I understand that you as a broadcaster need to command a certain amount of respect in order to make money to have an audience. And it looks bad for you when a guy's saying,
spits in my face. My longtime friend spits in my face and says, oh, fuck off. Oh, fuck off. And then doesn't even have dinner with me. Not drinks, by the way. Dinner, nothing, no type of meetup. That makes me look like shit, is what that makes me look like.
I agree.
A guy who has defended me for years, but I've defended him for years, and including the things he allegedly did to Jesse and other people.
True.
And it's a two-way street. It's not just like he's the only one doing the defending. I've been defending his bullshit for years. He couldn't even meet up and have a dinner.
Can I
a
throw
photo
in?
op?
Can I throw in?
I'm serious.
I understand where you're at, and honestly, if I came out to California and there was a miscommunication with somebody I thought was a dear friend, and they look, I'm there. I get it.
I know you would, but I'm asking why wouldn't he? Like a guy, no, I don't know.
Well, hang
man.
on a second.
And you know
Ethan, didn't you ask Vito out for lunch?
Yeah, I did actually.
What happened
I
with
did
that?
actually.
I tried. You left California too early.
Well, I was in Otay. It was a little far away from I think, from where you are anyway. Yeah, it's kind of a drive. It's California traffic's a nightmare. But like, I mean, yeah, I know you would, but it's like, why wouldn't you even think to do that? It's like, okay, I let Ralph down. He was really counting on this. Maybe we should meet up for a photo op and, you know, let's have some dinner. Go out with the 80s girl. She said she wanted to go out to eat dinner in the first place. So nothing I'm saying is a lie. Everything I'm saying is the truth. People can take it for what it's worth. But I don't feel like I was in the wrong.
When you look at the facts, when you look at everything known, everything said by everybody, none of it adds up. You've got 80s girl wants to go out to dinner. 80s girl likes you. She wants to see you. But also, she's the reason you're not allowed to come there. You've got Dick.
It doesn't make sense.
You've got Dick setting up the show, getting Milo involved, a third party, and then last minute canceling on it. You've got Dick telling you that he cares about you, wants to do an intervention. You've got him telling Milo it's all about the entertainment. You're just some sort of, squeezable thing for him. And then finally, and this is the part, I just want to throw a third option out there.
Well, I will say this. Dick did say the intervention that I should be sober on the intervention. It would be funnier. And I was sober that Saturday. The Friday, okay, I had a couple drinks on the fucking plane. Anyway,
it was canceled.
Ralph,
it was canceled long before.
No,
Vito. It was canceled long before Saturday. Canceled.
No, I know. Yeah, you're right. It was canceled on Friday.
So, like, does he think it's impossible for you to sober up after 24 hours?
Know. Like, what the fuck did he think I took?
Well, he said in the phone call with Milo, he said Xanax. He thinks you're on Xanax. That's what he said.
Well, Xanax lasts 4 hours. I know that precisely. And so,
do you have a prescription for Xanax?
A Mexican
have
one.
I had a prescription? Yeah, I mean, this is a dime a dozen in Mexico. You don't have to fucking shop for doctors in Mexico. You just say, hey, give me Xanax.
How would you characterize your sobriety on a scale of 1 to 10? On a scale of
sober as a judge.
Well, I mean, so what is today?
Day-to-day sobriety.
All right, here you go.
What is today? Today's the 13th. So the last time I used was on the 10th. It was that Friday.
All right, Ethan, if we were to use the scale I've got here, you're currently, I would say you are sober as a judge. Now, when was the last time you were zooted as a line cook?
That would probably be New Year's Eve. That's actually when I relapsed, was New Year's Eve, because I just couldn't resist.
Have you at all been gigafried as a Mexican tourist?
No, I love the Mexican people. I will never comment badly about them.
Would you say on Friday when you got
Mexicans? Though I don't know, but full-blooded Mexicans, never.
On Friday when you got canceled on by Dick Masterson, where would you say you were? Were you as buzzed as a bartender? Where were you in this?
I was probably like a 4 or 5, honestly.
Okay, that's a drunk as an airline pilot.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's like, it wasn't even that big a deal. I think I put out a video or something and people were like, whoa, Ralph is like out of control. And Milo was putting out all kinds of crazy shit with my mom burning in hell. Because
that was
you
nuts.
know why he did that? Because we got in DMs and I said, Milo, this is only going to work if people really fucking believe it. I'm a wrestling fan. You know that, Jesse. Everybody knows that. Ugh. I said, it's only going to work if we go all the way. That's why I was mentioning Ali Alexander. That's why I was mentioning all this stuff. Right? Yeah. I don't even want to repeat it because I don't want to piss him off again. But like I said, it's only going to work if you go all the way. I don't care what you do. Pull out pictures of my mom. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. That's the only way it's going to work. Because people are going to really think we hate each other. That's the whole point of wrestling, is to draw money by putting asses in seats. And that's the whole point of live streaming, Vito. That's what I was talking about earlier.
I understand that. Okay, here would be my question to you. Would it really be unfair for someone to look at Ethan Ralph and go, this is a guy who, depending on the day or time of the week or whatever, he could possibly be wasted out of his mind? Based on your history, is that possible that somebody could rationally assume that about you?
Yeah, it's possible. Also, Jesse's doubling me up here. I don't know why. But
that's for the stream. That's for the stream. I wanted to put you.
So they can see it. So they can see it. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've had drug problems, but so is Dick Masterson. That's the thing. So why am I the subject and he's not?
Let's say I have it. Just because I have a drug problem doesn't mean I want to invite another guy with a drug problem over.
Okay. Well, I've seen Dick Masterson shit faced off his ass.
I'm okay with being a hypocrite.
He's probably putting shit in his face from a guy's ass too.
I've seen him drinking in a rage, screaming at Worski, who I despise, but still, like, I've seen him just like. I've seen him plenty fucked up. And so for the topic to be me, I'm the bigger drug addict? Is that my Madden score is higher than Dick's when it comes to drugs? Is that what we're going for here? What
I'm saying is the mere fact that Dick Masterson also does drugs. I mean, he can never call shenanigans on anyone else for doing maybe having more of a problem, possibly by his again. And I'm not saying necessarily you do have more of a problem. I
have a problem with drugs. I just got through saying that today. I'm not lying about it. But what I'm saying is the whole high and mighty. Oh, when a drug addict, you saw the clip today, Jesse. Oh, when you tell a drug addict, no, that got me so fucking pissed because I'm like, motherfucker, you're a drug addict yourself, and you're not the only one in close proximity. And so for you to get all high and mighty about being a drug addict is the height of comedy. And it's the funniest you've been since I've known you.
Oh, can I throw in a possibility here? Since everything doesn't add up, the reasoning, the timing, why cancel on a Friday?
Burning Man. Somebody said Burning Man. The whole reason is to go to Burning Man and get fucked up. Anyway,
and
go
also
ahead. Sorry,
to
Jesse.
get fucked by guys. He goes there and gets fucked up. It's true. It's true.
Look,
true.
Man, I don't want to get into all that stuff, but go ahead.
Well, he did. I actually just in fair. You know what? I'll be fair to him since I know you got a history, and since Vito's here. I'll be fair to him. He actually did
address. Let's not put,
No, he addressed the Burning Man thing today on Discord. Vito and Dick have a Discord that I can see.
Why would I did see that,
and
actually. I won't repeat it.
Yeah, he said, somebody said, who knew Dick sucked dick? And then this is Dick right here. He says, why would I go all the way to Burning Man to suck dick? There are tons of dicks in L.A.
Which actually is a fair point. That's one of the more.
Well,
I can say the logic holds up.
I can actually address that.
There's a lot more dicks to suck in LA.
The reason
but Burning Man's like a giant fucking orgy, drug-fueled orgy out in the middle of the fucking desert that the police don't even give a fuck about.
Well, the reason, just to be clear, he also does suck dick in LA. It's both. So
well, look, I don't know about that, but I know. Remember when they canceled Burning Man during COVID, and he was like brain fried, fucked in the head, like when they canceled Burning Man.
Well, because he was ready to get cum drunk. But all right, now here's
but Jesse, look, I don't know about all that, but I do know he was
cow costumes. You saw the cow costumes with your own eyes.
I did see the cow costumes.
Have I lied about anything so far with this?
But what I'm saying is. Well, but were they doing that as a joke? Like, they say, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm still trying to make excuses, but yeah, they both had on matching cow costumes. I'm not kidding.
It happened. Listen, I'm throwing out another option. Okay, Milo came on my show on Friday. Dick Masterson.
I saw some of that.
Dick Masterson knew that Milo was coming on my show on Friday.
Yes.
Milo was supposed to be a guest on his show on Saturday. I wonder, is it possible at all that maybe, knowing that Milo would hear all the Dick Masterson stuff from me, Kooky Jesse, if maybe you are an easy, soft target to use as, that's why. Oh, Ralph is drunk. We can't have him on the show. In reality, he didn't want Milo to come on.
Oh, because Milo was coming on the day before.
Uh-huh.
You know what? I don't think that's a preposterous theory.
Well, Milo seemed to think that might be the
Milo's
case.
a cold motherfucker. I know him well. And, if he smells blood in the water and if he just thinks something's funny, like he's going to go for the throat.
Which is exactly why he prank called Dick. I mean, that's literally what happened.
That was the funniest fucking shit, honestly. Like, it
very,
for me. It reminded me of the Medicare who I hate now, too. But too many people I like, actually. But when he said to Jarbo, what was it? Call yourself a cum-filled bitch or whatever the fuck it was. It reminded me of that. It was like, say it. And I thought he was going to say it for a second. I thought he was actually going to bow down to Milo, and he almost did.
Well, when you say to Dick Masterson, act natural, he actually gets down on all fours and starts mooing. So it's a very real possibility for him.
I don't know. They did have on the cow outfits, though. I do know that. True. I don't know anything else about like shenanigans at Burning Man or anything like that. I know why people go to Burning Man, though. It's to have a fucking giant drug-fueled orgy. Right. There's no other reason to go there.
Guys and girls, flesh grinding, holes. Every hole's a goal. It's just holes and flesh.
Yes.
But the point is, Ethan, I think you're a soft target because let's look at it logistically. Let's look at the reality of the situation. Does it make sense to cancel on an intervention because a guy is drunk?
No. Matter of fact, that makes it better. That's what I said. Milo said the same thing. He's like, well, wouldn't it be funnier if he was drunk? Like,
I mean, forget funnier. It just makes more sense. Like,
it's like, oh, this is a drunk guy who needs help. Yeah. Like, I don't know, man.
I legitimately believe he doesn't want you to get help because then you're no longer content for him. I mean, excuse the phrase, but you're no longer a lol cow for him.
Well, people have told me that. And I don't want to think that about him, honestly. I know I've made a lot of jokes tonight, and he's probably never going to talk to me again, whatever. But, like, I don't want to think that.
He's never going to talk to me again, either. You guys fucked me. I was on the fucking show.
Well, I've been trying to make that happen several times.
You know what? Let me apologize to Vito because we actually had this whole thing worked out where I wasn't even going to show up and I was going to pull this whole prank and I trolled Jesse.
Vito, is that true? Is that true, Vito?
Yeah, we had a big.
We had it worked out. Yeah,
nobody needs to apologize to me. All I'm going to say is, look, I like all you guys. I even kind of like Jesse for some reason. Okay. And I know there's always all this internet infighting. And here's the problem is it's always in front of an audience, right? We're always like constantly fighting. We need the audience to like us. We can't show weakness. You got to be the alpha male. You got to be a tough guy. When at the end of the day, I really wish everybody could just sit down, talk about it, be like, hey, man, this really hurt my feelings. I didn't like how this went down. I know you're worried about my health, but I'm doing fine. And I hope something good comes of it. But obviously, I'm just here sweeping. I know that because what else can I do? I have to sweep.
But I mean, that would settle a lot of problems. I'm not lying with you, but I mean, people hate each other. It's a nasty place, as Trump says.
Nasty business.
Nasty businesses, I say. Yeah, exactly.
I think a big problem with all of this.
What, you think it's gonna get a little more nasty, a little more mean? But you're not wrong. But
I know this
could have been settled in a 5-minute phone call by Dick Masterson.
How about
calling to me and saying, hey, Ralph, let's go out to dinner. I'm not, 80's not sure about this. I'm not sure about this. Let's just go out to dinner, have fun tonight, and, forget about this intervention nonsense, and let's just have fun. And that would have been it. There would be no show right now. That would be it.
How about this?
I know the chat hates me, and I agree. I'm being an insufferable sweeping bitch because honestly,
the guy posting tomatoes right now is an actual pedophile, like confirmed pedophile. So I don't really. I'm not even joking.
That wizard guy actually is sick as fuck. Ban that motherfucker.
You can look him up online. I can't get rid of this guy. He's like fucking herpes. Listen. This is an option. All right, I know this sounds crazy, but this is an option. And Vito, you could make this happen. We could just wrap this whole fucking thing up. All Dick would have to do is call in.
I have no control over that.
You have no control, but you have influence.
If you think
call in.
Ralph, you know exactly how much
I know he won't call in
you has over Dick Masterson. You know that we have
which is close to zero.
I think I have
zero and you have close to zero.
I think I've been a very fair moderator here. I'll let you guys work it out.
Actually,
I'm trying to be reasonable here.
I'm kind of impressed with you tonight. I gotta say, Jesse, because I was a little like, I don't know about this.
Well,
right?
this is my audition for host of the new Kill Stream, which is we're calling it the Kill Shelter.
That show. No, I've never heard of that one. You wouldn't believe how many people try to talk me out of coming, and then there was like the last 2 people I talked to, and I was like, you know what? I'm coming on this fucking show.
Well, I'm glad you did. You would have looked really bad if you didn't, but I wouldn't have cared. You literally asked me to do this, so I would have just said, fuck everybody who showed up. I don't give a shit, and shut off the stream. It really wouldn't have mattered to me. Here's the thing. If I'm wrong, and the reason that he canceled the episode it had nothing to do with Milo showing up on PodAWFUL, then it should be no problem for him to show up here and just address all these problems with you directly. I mean, I don't see a problem with that. I don't see, by the way, why he couldn't have like, all right, you were in LA, sure. Why couldn't you have called into the last 2 episodes he just did over the past couple days? Oh, Milo,
that's what I was saying. I can't even do the Dick show. Like, what the fuck, Milo? What's up,
Milo
brother?
is here.
That makes 2 of us forbidden from the Dick show.
Honey, we live?
Can you
Is we live?
Oh,
No
way.
God.
Sorry, my house tranny is causing problems again. Go and cook.
You're a woman servant.
It's my catamite, you see. Who's Vito?
I'm Dick's co-host, Milo.
Sorry?
Good.
I'm Dick's
Dick
co-host.
Masterson's co-host. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
Dick Masterson.
Juju. Juju the clown.
Yeah, Juju the clown.
The clown.
I meant the cow, of course. I meant the cow. My mistake.
No.
Juju. So you're kikiing with Juju, are you? Okay. Vito.
I don't know all the gay slang, Milo. What's
you know most of it? Hang on a second.
Look, it's my fault. I've moved in a troon, and she set my recovery.
Vito knows most of the gay slang, if not all.
Most of the gay slang. I don't know all of it.
I've seen some of his tweets on the subject. It's not just homosexuals, is it? It's
no.
It's
my God.
Ralph has been sharing some very questionable tweets about kid diddling opinions from Vito. Now,
my
listen.
opinions are all good. Go ahead.
Yes, I don't think so. So no, have you? I've just got a couple of questions.
Well,
for
you got raped as a kid, so you would probably that would be like closer to the.
We were that as kayfabe. We did that as kayfabe.
Oh,
me and Milo did that as kayfabe.
Vito, you don't.
Man, that was real though.
You don't say that about a guy just out now.
What?
Come on.
I mean, he was victimized by the Catholics. It's a tragedy what happened.
Oh my
I'm sorry.
God, Vito.
Dude,
Jesus
are you
Christ.
That's what I thought happened. I didn't fucking know.
You're gonna.
Milo, were you raped by a priest or not? I thought that was the thing.
Well, as you can read,
You said it was like a learning experience, right? Like they taught you stuff.
It was a learning experience.
To be honest with you,
it was like Catholic school. That's how it was explained to me.
I was better. I was better at giving head than he was. I think I was probably more experienced, even by 14. No. I have a couple of questions for you. Have you ever seen in the flesh? Have you ever witnessed an encounter with Juju? Have you seen Juju? Have you been caught in?
Have I been in the presence of the divine Juju?
Have you been caught in flagrante delicto yourself with Juju?
You know,
the Latin. Oh my God, he's killing me. All right, go ahead. Sorry, Vito. Sorry, I'm a mark for Latin.
Unfortunately, I've never had an encounter with a Juju. Sorry about that.
Have you now? What can you tell us? This is the great revelation of 2025 so far for me. Is the existence of this cow? I tried to, I called our friend Dick and I said, please move for me. Give me a moo. Yeah. And he wouldn't. So I was left to imagine what the moo might sound like myself. And I imagined that perhaps it was sort of,
You're going to tell me you've been in the gay community and never experienced any sort of animal encounters? I don't think you're a real gay guy, Milo.
He's not. He's an ex-gay guy.
Yeah. I mean, once you were with all the gay guys, aren't they all fucking dogs and eating dog shit and whatever? You've seen all this.
Yeah.
Not
What?
to my knowledge.
Well, they put on the dog masks and then they shit on each other in San Francisco. I saw a picture.
Milo fucked like NFL players and shit. Like I don't think they're into that. I don't know, but like anyway,
guys want to wear the dog mask and eat the
if you don't mind me
poop,
say, a
we know
completely
this.
different kind of animal.
So the dog shit is good. The cow stuff is too much.
No, I'm not much of a fan of either, actually.
But you've seen it.
No.
You've never seen a gay guy eat shit? There's no way.
No, I haven't.
You don't go to like a gay party?
I've seen that.
Yeah, come on.
Not up close, but
I've seen it on the fucking like pictures from fucking San Francisco. They do it.
I don't look at things like that.
So you'll suck off a priest, but you won't watch a gay guy eat dog shit? I don't know, man.
What a lunatic you are.
You know, you're doing everything to change the subject here, too. By the way,
What subject? He's acting like he's never seen a gay guy. dressed in a
Hang
animal
on a second,
costume
Vito.
and fuck.
Didn't you fucking finger your cat or some shit?
Now wait a
used a
minute.
Q-tip.
Vito, my darling, I can't speak. Sorry,
Oh
my
my
name
gosh.
back.
It's all right.
I can't speak to the actions of the demon that previously inhabited this body.
The gay
But,
demon.
In a couple of days, on the 20th of January, I will be 4 years ex-gay, which is a very long time, and I'm very forgetful. So, no, I really don't remember very much about my old life. I've buried it, to be honest.
So are you going to say you made it through your entire homosexual career without eating the poo-poo?
I have never so
And
much
you never
as-
even saw someone eat the poo-poo?
He's
I don't
straight as a judge.
Stop.
We're eating our dinner.
What?
I've never seen it.
Okay.
I've never even been down there myself.
You've never been behind a butt.
I've never
All
been.
right, Vito. It's starting to sound like you
Yeah,
are
like
really.
what is this? Some type of?
I gotta be honest. This is a family show.
Milo's in here going, I can't believe this sexual depravity. And I go, yeah, but you're gay.
You fingered a cat. Vito.
No, I Q-tipped
He was
the
just
cat.
making fun of the moo thing, and then it turned into this.
We're having a peaceful dinner. Are you live right now?
Yeah, we're live.
We are,
We're
yes.
having a peaceful family dinner. And you need to stop with this degeneracy, this filth, this perversion. I don't want to hear it, America. No more.
Thank you, Miles. Thank you.
I like this guy.
Anyway, on another note,
You would, Vito.
So
Yeah.
on a,
Of course he would.
Let's keep it clean. Have you been inside Juju the Cow
With my
No.
penis?
with anything?
I want to wear. If I ever find that costume, I'm putting it on. I think it'll give me sexual powers.
You seem to be confirming it exists.
If it does, I want to get inside it, but I haven't seen it.
Rollback, isn't it? Anyway,
What do you think the odds are, Vito, that it's real, that it exists?
I mean, I've been over that house. I ain't seen no cow costume.
Have you
I ain't got
seen
that
the-
many
have you
fucking
seen the
costumes.
drug
get it out
drawer?
for just anyone.
Yeah, but like, I mean, like, isn't the kind of thing if you're dressed up as a cow, you would like occasionally leave it out or something? Like, oh fuck, I left my. Or wouldn't you get off on leaving it out so everyone could see it?
Oh, you feel like?
Go,
you feel
oh,
like-
I don't know where
you
that
wanna
He would
try-
hide it probably.
Ethan
yeah.
saw it.
Because
But
it wants
Ethan
to get
saw
caught.
it. Ethan
like, oh,
saw it.
I
Oh,
saw
no.
it because we
Oh.
were going out to a rave. I didn't have a costume on though. I just had a jacket, which was much too thin. And they apparently go to raves all the time. And a lot of these people at the raves have like wild costumes on and shit. And so I'm just standing there in a fucking jacket. And me and Julian from Odyssey, who ran Odyssey, I guess he still does. We're just cold as fuck and high as fuck on MDMA. Like that's all we were on. But they were on.
Speaking of which, my
cow
darling, are you feeling all right tonight? It's just you seem
I'm feeling
sober.
good.
You seem sober. I'm worried.
I'm feeling great, man. You know, I knew it had to be 100%.
Only 2 months and 29 days to go.
That's right. You know, I'm going to hold you to that. I know you're not going to, but I'm still going to hold you to it.
I know there's one thing you love even more than whatever it is that makes you fall asleep, and it is
Xanax.
Okay. Only the one thing you like more than that, and that is winning.
That's
And
right.
I'm well aware that your natural obstinacy and stubbornness will carry you through 3
Well, I
months.
mean, me and you,
I'm
a weekly
I'm already
show.
preparing for it.
Dude,
already
me and
preparing
you,
for it.
a weekly show versus the Dick show that's like dying on its last legs. Like, let's be real. they just brought in this stiff. Like I can't even listen to it.
You're talking about Johnny, the audio engineer. That's horrible.
He sucks, dude. Look,
I've never
not even
seen it. I've got like 45 emails from Dick for over 10 years begging me to come on, but I've never seen the show. Is it good? What do they talk about?
No, it's not good.
It's
I'm not on that.
It's not usually good, no. But they just replaced their longtime co-host Sean, who was beloved, right? Like the audience loved him, with some fucking stiff, under mysterious circumstances, if you want to know the truth. But he said he lost his smile. Basically,
is it one of those?
He said it brought out a bad thing in him, and he didn't like what it brought out in him anymore.
Ooh.
Maybe.
You know what they brought out? What they brought out was Juju the Cow.
Anyway, Dick had the bright idea to replace him with a fanboy from like 6 years ago. I don't even know what the fuck's going on.
After a long time interacting on a daily basis with Dick, this gentleman found himself looking slightly lovingly at coyotes, just sort of licking his lips every time he saw, like the neighbor's dog. And he thought, I better get out of there because before I know it, I'm going to be sticking my penis in various fluffy animals, and thinking about Mr. Tibbles from next door.
I don't know. It was a curious exit. I'll say. I always like Sean, so I'm not gonna trash him.
Who's that female Ben Shapiro that just left the Daily Wire? Brett Cooper, is it?
Yeah.
Bit of a Brett Cooper situation.
Yeah, it was one of those where like, what's going on here?
I believe.
Well, dude, pull up the clip then and tell me what you think, because
I'll tell you what the clip kind of sounds like. Is it sounds like Sean just the show is changed.
Well, Sean's got another career too. I won't go into it.
The other thing he said that's important is he actually is an audio engineer, and right now AI is kind of ravaging his industry, and he's like, I kind of need to knuckle down and make myself very useful right now, or else I might not have a job in a year.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, I'll give you a point there. Go ahead.
So, Vito, you're obviously planning your next move. So, where are you interviewing? Like, what are you going to do after you dump Dick?
Well, I've been looking into unmarked vans, large dog cages, and whatever else I can find. But other than that, just taking each day as it comes.
He's trying to figure out this whole thing with gay guys and shit, if he can get into that.
Yeah, I want to know more about the gay guys. I feel like there's money to be made there.
I've had sex with more people than I will ever be able to remember or piece together, and not one of them has been quite as interested in poop as you.
Well, Vito's fucked a guy. Vito's fucked a bunch of dudes.
Guys are eating poop, and then you hear there's like a whole bunch of guys.
Hey, hang on a second. Just to be clear, Vito has fucked guys and transes. And
really?
Yeah.
So
you probably fucked with poop and ate poop, according to your logic.
But I've asked.
No. I need to know about this. I just rewatched Serial Mom, which contains it's a movie with Kathleen Turner. It's a great film. It contains the immortal scene in which she reveals in court this mom that she's been going through the cops' trash, and one of the magazines in the trash is Chicks with Dicks. Vito, tell us about. So there's that famous Cernovich blog post where I think he was just kind of like doing a game thing. But I've never understood the appeal of somebody with big bazonkas, a big booty Latina, and then with some like giant 12-inch stonker. I'll tell you a brief factoid about Chicks with Dicks, and then I have a question for you. So you know that like all trannies end up either suicide or murdered. Well, black men are their primary customer base when they are prostitutes out in the streets, which is of course how most transsexuals make their money. Okay. And they always get into violent altercations, and the reason, which always shocks people, which I found out from a vice cop in LA, is when they get back to the motel, they both think that the other one's going to be the top.
Right.
And they're fighting over who gets to bottom.
Of course.
The black guys who pick up, no, this is true. And then it turns into violence. The black guy who picks up the chick with dick wants to get fucked by them. And of course the tranny's like, big black creepiness. So I'm wondering, Vito, when you went home with your transsexual prostitutes, did you argue over who would fuck who? And who was victorious in the battle for the bottom?
Right.
was kind of a mutual pleasuring experience.
No, Vito, don't.
No, there's no mutual pleasuring when it comes to it.
Vito, can you come on camera so Milo knows who's saying that? I want him to see you.
It's a big gross fat guy.
It's a big gross fat guy, Milo.
No, I was on top in all situations I've had.
Well,
I think once they're dressed as a girl, they.
Oh, now you're on top in all situations. All right, okay. You should have said that from the start.
Just one moment, please. So if you're on top, fucking a tranny, that means you're doing him up the ass. So you are a poop dick faggot.
Right.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Poop dick is different from mouth poop.
Well, you've had more poop on your dick than I ever have, and more probably in your mouth than I ever have. So I think it's a bit rich.
What did you do? Is
that how you got so fat?
How are we doing this?
What kind of gay guy?
I just think it's a bit.
You didn't have
rich.
sex?
It's a bit but I was the girl, so it's a bit rich for you to come in.
You got your ass pounded, and that was
it's a
more
bit rich for you to come in hot and ask me about
coming in hot.
When you probably still have bits of sweet corn stuck under your foreskin.
Oh, hold on. You're
saying
saying
this evening.
Getting,
there are remnants.
First of all,
sometimes
I always use
but no, I don't want to be. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
I'm not fucking any tranny in LA without a condom.
If you don't mind me saying, if you still have bits of human effluvia jammed up your urethra.
It's possible. Quite possible.
And you have, if you don't mind me saying, you have the chutzpah to ask me about poop. I think it's a bit rich. And yes,
what's just asking? What's just a harmless question? You've lived in the gay community for multiple times.
So have you.
Well, you know, Vito, sometimes questions can be accusatory, and sometimes questions can be admissions. And in this case, it sounds like it was
so
both.
asking me about a magic cow costume is an accusatory. I'm just trying to find out some stuff. You have questions about a cow. I have questions about, all the poop eating and the
He was talking about somebody else, not you.
It sounds like when it comes to poop on a dick, poop on the lips, you're the expert, not me. Right. So physicians.
There's been no accusations that Milo's been eating.
Just a moment.
That would mean you're sucking a poop covered dick.
In order that I can really properly assess the situation between you and these cross-dressing coons you've had sex with. Can I see, if you don't mind, can I see just how disgustingly fat you are? I think I need to see.
Yeah,
would you mind?
Oh, I'm huge.
Please, Vito, if you'll just come on camera, hold the camera up above you.
Just for a few minutes, because from your weight, from your BMI, I'll be able to tell what kind of fantasy you're able to get. You see, because there's a whole smorgasbord of gender benders. You see.
I agree with Milo.
I'll know whether you were like so fat that you could.
I wasn't fucking the good trannies, is what you're telling me.
Well, see, because if you're big, you probably would have the you'd have to just get the leftovers. So you'd be fucking like Hispanic trannies who will literally they'll fuck a fireplace for $20.
Right.
So I just want to understand from your BMI.
I have run the gambit. There have been
just how
black trannies,
ran the gambit, like from X-Men.
And how deep is the barrel scraped? And by barrel, I of course mean another man's anus when by your cock.
Did you say, Vito? Did you say you ran the gambit because that's an X-Man? That's an X-Man.
Oh wait, a
gambit is different than a gamut.
It's Spanish for suck on my titties while I fuck you. So listen, I've got to see, if you don't mind. I'm so sorry. I've got to see.
Go to the youtube.com/biggest problem. You can see me live every Friday.
Don't do that.
Well, I'm not that interested. I just, I heard that the biggest problem is a shoddy dime store ripoff of a British show called Room 101, which is the worst show on British television. I know Americans rip off a lot of British TV, but couldn't you have picked a good show? I mean, we've got The Weakest Link. We've got Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Couldn't you have picked any of the good British shows to copy?
I'm sorry, we ripped off your nation's entertainment there.
In fairness, they ripped off a different podcast.
They rip it off all the time, actually. Steptoe and Son, The Office.
It's my understanding that
the proud British Broadcasting Network.
Hey, I'm an Anglophile. What can I
say? We're going to rip off Downton Abbey next. That'll be good.
I doubt it. So what we've established here is that you are a plagiaristic, cock-sucking, cross-dressing coon fucker. And
Jesus,
you've got
Milo.
and you've had the I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to bleep me.
Wait, you never had sex with a black man?
That's what this is what Vito looks like.
You dated a black man.
Oh, you look not just like an egg, but you look like an egg that's been out for weeks.
Oh, I agree.
And it's been rolled in something sticky, and there are now growths on the bottom of the egg.
100%. I'm a horrific individual.
Please put the picture back because I'm trying to go ex-gay, and I feel like this picture might finally push me over the edge. So look, just throw up his image again if you'll be so kind, Jesse.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Look,
I feel to say you're not gay anymore. You're the cattiest fucking faggot.
I feel if I were to wake up in the morning to this image,
I woke up in the morning to this image, oh my dick would be so fucking slim. I could not even.
I would be wiped off.
You've ripped off the great British baking show. Don't you know that, sir? You've ripped off our great British entertainment, sir.
Well, listen, I bow to you on the subject. I bow to you on the subject of baked goods.
Thank you.
You will get no argument. You get no argument from me that you are certainly the expert when it comes to baked goods. I bow in the presence of a master when it comes to the bakery.
All I wanted to know was you got fucked by a priest. You said it was a learning experience.
Why would you open with that?
It was important for the gay community that more kids get raped by priests. I didn't get it. I don't follow that.
I haven't yet finished talking about the picture.
And it kind of blew up your career. I think you're kind of upset that you said that.
Dear God.
I mean, you were on top of the the world before you told everybody, hey, more kids can get raped by priests.
This is like if a raw turkey.
This is when he was thinner.
If he wiped off his penis on a raw turkey.
All I'm saying is, when I got me Cooper raped by Mr. McPingles, we learned a lot about the gay community. Me did.
If you know that you are so physically repugnant that you can only get Mexican cross-dressers to have sex with you, why wouldn't you just like work out? I mean, Ralph's bettering himself. He's going to be sober.
I like fucking the Mexican cross-dressers. It's fun.
Oh gosh.
All right, so I was trying to be fair. Hang on a second. Hang on.
You know what's amazing about Ralph? You know what's amazing about Ralph?
All right, go ahead.
This guy can go from like barely sentient in an airport 4 days ago. to looking normal, being articulate.
Sober as a judge.
The way that Ralph like snaps back, it's like one of those Asian tiger moms after pregnancy. They get their body back after like 4 days, you know? Like the way that Ralph like snaps back to normal is incredible.
It's a superpower, man.
I can see why you overindulge because you always know you're going to be fine by Thursday.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be fine like in a day or two max, and that's why I was like, okay, Dick, what are you talking about, dude? Let's go. I'm ready. Like, anyway.
You have to understand, like Ralph is on the floor in a bathroom in an airport. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm coming with a crowbar. And then 2 days later, he's talking about Baudelaire and Shakespeare. It's amazing. It's amazing. People like to say that I have been in my life at various moments a drug taker, which is a horrible allegation. But I have never, hypothetically speaking, snapped back as fast as Ralph. It is incredible. This is one of the reasons people call Ralph a force of nature, more of a concept than a human being. He's an immutable part of the universe because it doesn't matter what you do to this motherfucker. He's straight back by Thursday. It's amazing.
I was like, well, I didn't even tell him this, but I was like, okay, I was like at a 4 or 5 the day before. Like, that's nothing for me. I would take like a 14 or a 15 to stop me the next day. Like, I don't even know, man.
People were DMing me. There's no way they'll let him on the plane like that. And I'm like, if he needs to get on that plane, he'll be on that plane.
Yes. Of course they'll let me on the plane. Are you kidding me? No, I have gotten kicked off the plane or two.
In fairness, he's just going to Mexico.
Let's talk briefly. I've got to go. But let's talk briefly about a podcast that will be much more entertaining and much more successful than a rip-off of some British talk show that was so desperate for guests They had to start paying people to go on it by season 3, so it's a good choice there to copy it.
Thank you.
Really, did your homework on that one. Let's talk about a podcast that will be infinitely more exciting, and I would like to get Jesse's opinion about this. It'll be the Ralph and Milo podcast. It will be.
You're giving me the lead name. Wow. Okay.
So you see, as my dear grandmother said, one of life's givers. A bit like Vito with the trannies. Look, Jesse.
Yes.
What's your vision for a Ralph Milo podcast? Should it be the two of us chopping it up about the issues of the day? Should it be the two of us bullying an unsuspecting member of the public? Should it be the two of us presiding over a revivification of blood sports? What would you like to see from the Ralph Milo podcast? Because I'm soliciting format ideas.
We got to
like to see you.
Vito, are you Jesse? Or are we on PODAWFUL? Number one. All right. So Vito, number one. No veto. That's number one on the list.
Number one.
You know. I hate to interrupt you. I'm so sorry, Jesse, but that was, if you don't mind me saying, a given.
Okay. And number two, I think it's time to move away from the blood sports thing. I think blood sports is kind of over.
It's a little bit played out every once in a while, but you know,
it's fun here and there. No more blood sports.
I also find it sort of diminishes everybody involved to the point where the more successful you are, the more useless all your best guests become. Because they become such damaged figures, by the end of it.
Yeah. What I would like to see
beating the shit out of each other the whole time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Right.
What if you can have one or two a year if it's a big match, right, or something like that? But even I've gotten tired of the blood sports.
I'm looking for something that will last for.
Let me pitch something. I think I've got.
Just let me frame it for you. I mean, look, this is going to be a meeting of titanic proportions. I'm just referring to Ralph and my waistlines. This is going to be a meeting of colossi, and it's going to run for the full length of time that Ralph can stay sober. So an entire 3 weeks, and during those 3 weeks. I want a format that's predictable, that's relatable, that's enjoyable, that's predictable. Something we can do every week without it like taking over 3 days in a row. Something you just show up and just do.
I've got two pitches. I've got two pitches. All right, two pitches. Here we go. Pitch number one. Every episode of the show is Milo trying to do an intervention to keep Ralph sober, and Ralph doing an intervention to try to keep Milo straight. That's pitch number one.
Ooh. Interesting. So two people who have a decade-long, intimate, professional and personal respect and affection for one another, both realizing the other one needs some help. And I think, if there's anything that I could teach Ralph, it's about avoiding career pitfalls. And if there's anything that Ralph can teach me, it's about success as a man and a father. So I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Had to do it.
I made a joke at my own expense about career pitfalls.
I know about your waistline, and you never talk about how fat you are. Anyway, I remember Jesse Lee Peterson. I swear to God, saw him in person. He said, "You're fat." He said that at APAC, and I was like, wow, he said that to Milo Yiannopoulos? That was really rude.
Well, Jesse does like his skinny boys.
Wait a minute. I've heard that, but I don't know.
Yeah, maybe the podcast is 4 weeks of trying to find a woman that Jesse Lee Peterson's ever had sex with.
That'd be a good one too, actually.
That's a podcast that could last for all time.
Can you get a hair lip from sucking too much dick? Is that possible?
Can you what?
Can you get a hair lip from sucking too much dick?
Oh, well, if that's amazing. No, I don't think you can. Imagine having sex with that guy. You're just about to go down on him. And that's amazing. Amazing. Give me the other format.
All right, the pitch number two, and this is all I got. All right. It's sort of a Milo versus Ralph kind of thing, where every week you guys come in with two problems that you think are like some of the biggest ones in the whole universe, right?
Okay.
And the audience votes on which problem is the biggest one.
I do like audience participation, and so we have to persuade the audience that our thing is worse than the other one.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Fine. So if I come in and I say like, Juju the Cow represents an existential threat to the Western civilization, and then obviously I'll go on to something about furries and trannies. It's whatever. Yeah, and all that is necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. Vito's just sitting there, just watching this cow get just rammed, not telling us, not admitting it on interviews. He knows everything but says nothing. It's really the measure of the man, isn't it? It's the measure of the man. He knows. He knows the arcane secrets. He knows the law. He knows the deep, dark, mysterious secrets of Juju the Cow. And he won't share any of them. He's like, oh, I've never seen the costume. Of course, yeah. He has seen those cum-stained Frisian outfits. There's a black. When you see Juju the Cow, the most horrifying thing about it is that it looks now. Like those Frisian cows, the ones with the black and white spots.
Right.
Well, that outfit started all black. But no, it's not anymore. It's not anymore. And Vito knows all of this, but won't tell us. And I think, after I've come into this interview and been so tender and sweet, self-effacing, and asked to just open-ended questions, I just feel I was hoping for a little bit more honesty.
You wanted honesty about
a little bit more of a forthcoming.
Yeah.
I want to know what you know.
Somebody in chat said we should do a content cop ripoff, basically. It's kind of a ripoff, though, so I don't know about that.
You lost me at ripoff. You see, you've got
it's got to be original. Yeah, I agree.
You've got two people here who have changed the face, not just of internet culture, but of culture generally.
And one mountain.
Vito and Ralph.
Well, the rest of it. Not Vito, just for the avoidance of doubt. Not Vito. But I'm sorry.
Ralph and Jesse.
But still three people.
There's a viewer who thought I meant Vito, so I just need to correct that. But Ralph and I have have done things that have.
We're responsible for the modern internet. Yeah.
Change the face of it. I mean, there are entire swathes of conservative media that I invented 10 years ago. And Ralph was there on the front line. Ralph is the one on the Gamergate Mount Rushmore wearing the crown. I'm not wearing the crown. He's the one wearing the crown on the Mount Rushmore.
Days, baby.
He was the momentum behind all this.
The halcyon days.
You see, you've got two people who have so much to give, so much love to give, and so much
to take. Those days are behind him.
I can see why people don't watch those shows. So I'm thinking it's got to be something. Got to be something original. You got to
be super OG. Yeah,
you get more viewers for your show with Dick if it was just a close-up of his anus in the outfit. Just with one of your trannies just banging him, just
one of them. You get all of them there.
Honestly, you get more views. You might get 10 times the viewership. I would recommend it. Anyway, if you wouldn't mind not interrupting, just because you're adding nothing to the conversation, if you don't mind. So Ralph and I have to come up with something.
We're gonna have to workshop this. Yeah, we're gonna have to workshop this.
Come up with something that is unique enough to justify the Titanic
collaboration
that we bring to this format. You see, so I like the problem idea because it's it's open-ended enough that we can have fun with it.
Yeah.
I like that very much. Basically, just sort of something loose and open-ended, then we can sort of make whatever we want out of it. I think that's doable. I like that very much.
Yeah, I say go with that. Call it the biggest drug problem in the universe or something. Whatever.
We could just call it the biggest problem because it will so quickly eclipse what Vito's doing that it will then be the biggest problem podcast. You see, I mean, within a week, we will have surpassed his subscriber count. Within a week,
you guys could talk about the glory. Vito mentioned glory
Milo's
days.
Desperate second.
You could talk about glory days like back when Vito vaped Belle Delphine's bathwater.
You've won, and
Dick
they're getting
was
mad
on
when they're starting
Dr.
to repeat things they've seen in comments online. Sort of like the lowest, the lowest, easiest. The lowest and easiest imaginable. Oh, you're just
someone else said that. It's weird that would be a recurring theme.
The difference between you and me, Vito. The difference between you and me is that I have been relevant. That's never going to happen for you. It's not on the cards. It is not something that's in your future.
So you were relevant. You do agree. I'm glad we agree on that point.
I am a
Vito. I was relevant. Yeah, I know, Milo. That's kind of the problem.
And desperately reduced figure, but I still have another shot at fame. It's never going to happen for you.
It's happening, buddy. Here it comes, buddy.
So you see,
people
the problem
love
is
comebacks.
I envy
Milo
you.
comeback is in the cards, guys. I'm not
listen,
gay anymore. Oh,
I envy you, Vito. You know why I
Hey,
envy
Nick
you?
Fuentes, I could fuck way more ladies than you.
You know why I
Please.
envy Vito? Because
Milo,
he's in a completely risk-free position. Because there's no further to fall.
Going.
You can't get any lower than
Milo.
Vito.
You weren't
You
interesting
can't
during
fail
Gamergate. It was just
any
like, oh my
harder.
God, there's a gay guy willing to say all this retarded shit.
You cannot get any lower than where he is.
Like 50 years old, going, oh, I'm still relevant. I was the king of Gamergate. I was on the fucking Gamergate.
Hey, whoa! Let's not bring in Gamergate here, Vito. You're gonna get me on your case now.
Vito, I'll just tell you this, okay?
Milo,
let me tell you this. In November, 2 months ago.
You're right.
The Hollywood Reporter.
Did you guys know Kanye hired me to do nothing? I'm like so important.
That's actually pretty big.
2 months ago, the Hollywood Reporter shared the news.
She's like
shared the news.
Let him finish.
Finish his sentence. It would be wonderful. 2 months ago, the Hollywood Reporter shared the news that Melania Trump had called me on election night to thank me for the work I did getting Trump in office. That kind of thing will never happen for you. It's not coming.
You're right. That's definitely not going to happen for me.
You will never have that. And you know,
I'm not trying to get Trump elected. So you're right.
You can speculate about what you think my influence might be, but you don't know. You have no clue what's going on.
To be fair, hang on a second. To be fair, Vito did help Kamala Harris.
Just to be very clear, you're an extremely powerful influencer behind the scenes, and that's why you're going to do a podcast with Ethan Ralph.
No, I'm going to do a podcast with Ethan Ralph because I love him. And because I'm a loyal person.
I love you too, brother.
Because I'm a loyal person, because I love him, and because it entertains me to do so. And I've only ever done anything because it has entertained me to do so.
Ethan, I think you just heard the reason why you didn't go on Dick Masterson's show.
Because I would look forward every week to spending 45 minutes chatting to my buddy. So yeah, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I like.
Yeah, that's the whole reason we were going to go on Dick's show.
I'm so glad you've made time for Ethan Ralph. I mean, with all the important behind-the-scenes influencing you've been doing.
The thing that people don't understand.
Is that an insult? What kind of behind-the-scenes influence are you doing besides sucking Dick Masterson's cock?
Talking shit. Oh,
okay. Well, you don't know anything about Milo. Do you know how many books he's written from politicians?
It's very rare. It's very rare. It's very rare that you get somebody
I can
who has
take
the kind of
Trump's
reach.
virginity if I ask nicely enough. Oh.
All right, okay, all right. How about we don't? It's very rare that you get somebody who operates at the level.
Have fun, everybody.
Whoa! Did he rage quit? Is he gone?
He did leave.
He dropped off the call.
Wow. Well,
I think now, forgive me. I know I'm very old and irrelevant, but I believe that's known as crashing out.
Well, it's like, okay, let's go with one of the most famous trolls of all time, like right off the top. Like, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen? I was just like, Vito, what are you doing?
I mean,
I like Vito, but like, what the fuck?
Vito kind of lost the plot there because he tried to say that
if I'd had the opportunity, I was going to go on to explain for a third time how nothing that's happened to me that is ever going to happen for him. But I feel like I made the point.
Well, if he wants to talk about like remembering the glory days and stuff, I mean, his co-host Dick Masterson is
in his case, it's more remembering the glory holes.
Right.
Okay, that was good.
Unfortunately, what he didn't know was on the other side of that cubicle wall was a mamacita with the bosoms, and then after sucking that enormous pendulous Hispanic organ, he had no choice but to just to sort of go with it and pretend that he liked trannies all along, and that is in fact how all this began.
Vito's main gig, where he makes all of his money right now, is from being on a podcast that is remembering a podcast from 10 years ago. Literally a decade-old podcast at this point. So the glory days are long past anybody on the biggest platform.
We have to do better than that.
It's one thing to be nostalgic for the past, but to be, as an entertainer, to be nostalgic for a past that only you remember and nobody else knows. It's a bit of a sad situation, isn't it? It's a bit of a sad situation. All right, so I do have to go. I'm so sorry, but I know that you two will want to finish off I know you two will want to. Excuse me, I was going to say finish off together. I don't. I'm sorry. We've lost Vito. We've lost Vito.
You're flashing back. No.
No. I was going to say we've lost Vito, so that's no longer on the cards. Next time I see him, I'm gonna put some fruit up my top, and just to see if I can arouse him. Maybe he'll last longer on the call. So look, if I speak in Spanish and I've got sort of 2 onions up here, maybe he will want me to.
He would prefer the onions down there, though. To be honest, like
you don't need. Yes, it's just take off those underpants. I'm sure you'll get all the aroma you want. We don't need onions. We don't need garlic. No, so look,
well, the guy wants to eat shit. I mean, he kept saying it.
Fat people are damp, and not just that, but not just that, but I don't think he's seen his cock for decades, and so how's he going to wash it? How's he going to know if it's clean? It's probably encrusted. I'm so sorry. It's a family show, but it's probably got detritus on it.
That's out the window at this point, I think.
It's got detritus on it from like 11 different Hispanic cross-dressers. And how would he ever know? How would he ever know? He hasn't seen it for years. So look, it's just no way to know. I mean, he just has to sort of rub it till it feels smooth. Like he just has no idea what state it's in down there. Nobody does. So look, it's very sad situation. But well, I'm glad I could be here for this.
Thank you. I am too. Vito's not. I'm sure he's so pissed at me.
Milo, what are we going to do for Ethan though? How are we going to, get him straight and get him fixed up?
For what?
How are we going to fix Ethan and get him sober? What are we doing?
Well, I've dangled in front of him, much like the cross-dressers on Sunset Boulevard do with Vito. I've dangled in front of him what he wants the most. I'm kidding.
And that's money and fame and pussy. Yeah.
Listen. I think that I think he and I bring out great things in one another that are very entertaining to listen to from the point of view of the audience. I think that having something to look forward to and somebody to spar off and somebody that is exciting and enjoyable will be sufficient for him to pick that over other things. It is clear that, my old friend Ralph, he can choose what he wants to do and know that he can always bounce back. He's going to be here in 400 years doing the exact same shit. He's just going to be here until there aren't people anymore.
I had a tough year last year. I just want to say this, and I told Milo, I said, I think my career's over. And he said, your career is not even halfway done, is what he told me. And he's just a guy I could always talk to. I don't want to get sappy or anything like that, but
it's over. It's over when you choose it's over, And something that people don't, Vito was just saying, oh, you're such a big influencer and you're going to start a podcast with Ralph. Well, something people don't understand about me is like I was in like an 11-person group chat 4 minutes before I went on Bill Maher. That's just who I am. That's just how I do, and that's always given me an edge over other people. It's always given me an advantage. Like my DMs have been open since I've been online. Since I popped off the first thing, like I've posted my number on Twitter, just being like, text me, nigga. Just like I don't care. I've always done that with people, and I love that. And the people that I have found on my journey that I found the most interesting, and I have kind of brought close into my warm and bosomy embrace, include this fine gentleman here, and I just enjoy interacting with this man, and so if he makes it 3 months, and I'll know.
I know you'll know, and I'm going to rehab this week to get it started off right. So,
but Mexican rehab.
Mexican rehab, yeah, okay.
Mexican rehab just means that you're on half dose. So let's listen. So look, should
I just do it cold turkey? I can do that.
I want to see you like this for 3 months. And then
fine.
We will under Jesse's tutelage and with Jesse's tender guidance.
Jesse will be the producer.
Well, he could certainly be a consulting. You know what? Let's give him executive producer credits. Let's do that.
Let's do that.
under your tender guidance and with your expert feedback, I
and
feel
the
that
tech setup, he's brilliant with the tech setup. Honestly, I'm always jealous of that.
The only thing would be, the sort of interior design. I think we could probably work on. Just because I don't want to show I don't want to show that looks as fruity as PODAWFUL.
Yeah, not that pink. Not XK. No, not that's too much. Yeah.
But other than that, I do like this sort of. It's a sort of steampunk meets like Duke Nukem meets like. There's a lot going on.
Keep it focused on Ralph and the shit eating and the.
Oh no! And I love the fan behind that sort of sometimes turns as though there was as though there was once.
Dare you to figure out how to do that?
Listen, there was once a plan, and now there isn't. And now it just has a life of its own. Now sometimes it moves, sometimes it does not.
It's just slow, and I would give you $1 million if you figured out how to make that happen. You couldn't do it.
Okay. We'll talk afterwards.
I promise you.
Ralph, you're going to the best rehab in the world, buddy. All right.
Salute, sir.
Enjoy everything, both of you.
My pleasure. God bless you as well.
Love you, and I'll talk to you,
brother.
All right.
Thanks, Milo.
I would say this was a very successful program, Jesse. I don't know what you think.
I think we got it all figured out. I think I had a couple questions here. If people wanted me to ask you a few things.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't think I'll be returning to the biggest problem in the universe or the Dick Show. But that
would be a mistake.
Happen anyway.
That would be
Dick banned me officially today.
Well, he blocked you. He blocked you on Twitter, right?
He blocked me, and then he banned me officially on the show. We can't have any more Ralph content. It's too entertaining than my comatose co-host. And I'm not even talking about Vito. I'm talking about this stiff Johnny, Jimmy. Who the fuck? Even Aaron Emholt with the cripple co-host. Literally, Aaron Emholt's crippled co-host is better. I'm not even kidding.
Not wheelchair Johnny. Not wheelchair
Johnny, whatever the fuck his name is better than Dick's new co-host. I'm not kidding.
All right. Well, listen, I think it would be an extreme mistake, even long into the future, to ever go back on the Dick Show. That dude is using you and everybody who goes on his show. Here's what the people wanted me to ask. Number one, and I'm just running through these. These are random. Somebody says, Somebody says, what do you think of Dick's obsession with Eric July and using Riley as a proxy to fuck with him?
Well, so look, I get along with Riley. I get along with Mint. I know we had a fist fight, so it's kind of weird. But I think that Dick just saw Eric July as somebody he could attack and I'm trying to think of the word. Maddoxify. I'm trying to and it's like, hey, this easy target. It's a black guy can get out here and be halfway racist all the time, and do my. Although mine was funnier, my blaxploitation background music. But I think he just saw a target and a guy who was making a lot of money, and. I think that's it. It was just a money thing.
Just to be clear, I think every single guy that he talks about, that Dick talks about, including you, is his attempt to try to make another Maddox. I mean, that's his. That's his.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense, really. I don't know enough about the whole Maddox situation to change my opinion on all that stuff, but I've rethought it a little bit recently because the guy kind of has a certain greasiness about him, and stealing somebody's show, right, and bragging about it. And I'm not, Maddox is weird and all this and that, but he hung out. He was Maddox's fanboy, as he's called in his
Maddox
Discord.
Blast.
Right, and so it worked for him. He made a bunch of money. I can't hate on that, but it's strange. It's strange. And he took the guy's wife. Who takes somebody's girlfriend and brags about I don't know. That's weird behavior.
Whatever you want to think about Maddox, the woman carrying Dick Masterson's child right now has sucked and fucked Maddox. That's just a fact of life. Have you read Vito's comic? Is it rated for children? And do you think there's a hidden agenda with that? I probably should have asked that when Vito was on.
I think Vito probably just saw the Comicsgate thing and wanted to cash in similarly. I don't know about the hidden agenda to influence the youth or anything like that. I have not read it, although Mint Salad, who he despises, did leak pretty much the whole comic online. Which was very funny. No offense. But Butch Killigan, I got the code for that. I'm gonna be reading that pretty soon.
Shout out to Sven.
From Sven Stoffel's on the kill stream on Wednesday, by the way. I'm not going to rehab just yet. I still have 2 things. Tomorrow I'm meeting Jeremy McKenzie from Diagolon, political guy. You don't care about that. But on Wednesday, Sven Stoffel's.
All right. Well, we love Sven, friend of the show, Sven Stoffel.
And he does every show. That's why I love him, because he doesn't give a fuck. Like he's on everything. All right. So
now you mentioned rehab. This is from we got a super chat here from the Chugi Show. They say I don't know who takes care of the cat or cats while you were gone. That. At least,
well, that was just a bullshit line that I put in to try to make the judge feel sorry for me, right? I have a lawyer that can come check on my cats or the neighbors. Like, I know people around here. My cat is mine.
I just heard the cat.
Did you hear him? That was him right there. There he goes. I have 2 cats though. Cleo is in there, but Smoke sits right outside my door. You hear him? Do you want me to grab the cat?
No, I can hear him. Milo made me fucking look at his cats on the last episode. I'm done with fucking cats. Jesus Christ. Well, just to finish their chat, they said at least childless cat moms protect their fur baby from hurricanes and starvation. You wanted to reply.
There he is. You hear him? Meow. Anyway,
all right.
He's very happy that I'm back. He's very happy that I'm back. But yeah, I'm gonna have somebody taking care of the cats. Don't worry about that. I would take care of. There's nothing that I would let happen to those cats. Matter of fact, my cat, I told this story already, but he got outside. He's not an outside cat. And he scratched the shit out of my face because I tried to grab him and bring him back inside, and he didn't like that move.
Yeah, people were asking, you got cuts on your nose and your hand and everywhere.
It's because my cat scratched the shit out of me. And then I got in a street fight in Tijuana.
People were saying you had bed bugs. That's not true?
No.
Okay. And maybe that's why Dick didn't let you in. What happened with the street fight? What was that about?
What are the bed bugs? Well, there was a bouncer that I got thrown out of this establishment, and then I punched him in the face, and he punched me in the face a lot harder and knocked me down onto the ground and said, "Hey, you better get out of here. You're going to go to jail." And I said, "Fuck you, Spick," and got up and hit him in the fucking face.
Well, that'll do it.
Again, which also did not affect him at all. And so then he hit me again in the face, and I walked around the corner, and the police arrested me, is what they did. And I had to pay 5,000 pesos, and that was that.
Can I make a suggestion to you, Ethan? And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I'm totally serious when I say this. Can you just don't get into fights ever?
Yeah, because I mean, it's good. Look,
unless they're, because when they're not against a female cop, you lose.
Dude, that's not true. Every time I hear that, I did not fight a female cop. That was a Mexican cop, actually, and that's why he kicked my ass.
Mexicans can be female too. Didn't you even date one? I mean,
Chavez. Yes, I did actually. She was very attractive.
Now, was she connected to the cartels, or what was that about?
I don't know anything about any cartels.
Those don't exist.
Yeah, they don't exist as far as I know.
All right.
I forgot what the fuck I was
saying. It doesn't
say,
matter. Listen, James X O'Sullivan says, "Can you get Man Cow on show as a guest, please? Thank you, XOXO. God bless." That's not a question for Ethan, but I get we can try. Trey says, "We be gooing." I don't know what that means, but thank you, Trey. $11 cheese says, "Ralph's." Oh, now this is something I did want to ask you about, and I hope you don't mind about this, but people are. This is just one of those things. It's in the news about you. People are talking about. He says, Ralph's third tit looks very insmouth, like an aquatic flap of some kind.
Well, see, I used to get pissed because people said I had 4 tits.
But you only have 3.
No, I only have 3.
Yeah.
I only have 3, and I didn't correct them, but of course they saw.
So we knew.
I don't even know what that means. I know what 3 means, but no, I don't know what that means. But they'll fix that up in Mexico for like $500 probably.
So we've known forever about the bifurcated gunt, but how did the tit become bifurcated?
I don't actually know. I think it's from marijuana abuse when you're a teen, actually. I looked this up one time. And then it can like affect that development there.
Really? So then you're confirming that it was like that pre any beat ups, any Portugal run.
I mean, yeah, since I was probably, I don't know, a teen, maybe like 16. 15, 16.
You've always you've had the 3 tits since you were a teenager. All right.
Yeah, no, it's not actually a tit, by the way, but there's a fat flap there.
Can you just?
These are tits. These are tits right here.
Can you just prove?
You can't see. No, you can't see.
Well, I just have to see if there's
you've
a
seen
nipple
already.
No, I don't. I haven't been able to tell if there's a nipple there. No.
But I actually looked this up. and I was like, what? Why is it like that? And I think it's actually like a marijuana abuse thing.
Wow. Well, kids, don't smoke weed.
Don't smoke weed or you'll have 3 tits.
I've never seen that even one other time, but maybe that's what happened on Total Recall. All right, so official Mersh says, unblock me on Twitter, sir. So official Mersh wants to be unblocked on Twitter. They paid for that. What do you say?
Okay, well, link it. I can unblock them. Anybody who ever asked me to unblock them, I almost always do. So
I'm assuming that's at official Mersh on Twitter. What about Mersh?
And by the way, I still love Mersh. I know you hate him or whatever.
I don't hate him,
but
I love him too.
Well, you don't hate him, but you have an obsession maybe with Mersh. Is that fair to say?
No, I don't think that's fair to say at all. I'm not obsessed with him whatsoever. I barely think about Mersh. But when he comes up, it's very funny to laugh at him and his antics.
Mersh is funny.
Well, not on purpose, but yeah, very funny.
It's funny. Anyway,
remember when he came on? Well, no, I'm just saying. Remember when he came on the kill stream and it was like he was so drunk and he was such a dud, and everybody on the stream was like fucking making fun of him and hated him. And he stunk.
I don't remember that, but I do. Well, I don't want to talk about Mersh.
Good guy.
I don't want to talk about Mersh.
He's a good guy. He's a friend. He's a friend and a good guy.
He's a friend of mine, and we've always gotten along. He checked in on me the other day when I was looking pretty bad. What was it? Last week. And so I consider Mersh a friend and a good guy. So
yeah, he's a good guy. Maybe bring him on the Milo and Ralph podcast as a caller, like sort of a caller Mersh kind of situation where, he's
got the New York accent too. Yeah, that's actually,
No, that's actually, he does not have a New York accent, actually. That's
well, I gotta let my cat in because he is meowing at me.
Sure.
And
do not fall down.
Come on, Smoke. Oh, come on.
We'll just wait for the cat.
There he is. He's all fine. Okay, here, over here.
And so when you go to rehab, he'll be good.
Yes, he'll be good. Nothing will happen to my cats.
How did you lose all the weight, by the way? Because you did an excellent job losing all that weight.
They claimed that I used Ozempic, but I didn't. That's the thing. I just didn't eat. And so, I ate 1 meal per day. And then I did a ton of walking. And so that's how I lost the weight.
Okay.
You want more food, Smoke? Let me finish this and I'll give you some more food.
So you said, how long are you going to be in the rehab?
Well, it's either 15 or 30 days. Because depending on how much progress they think you're making, it's probably going to be 30. If I'm being real, because I've had long-term drug abuse, so probably 30. It's possible 15. It's up to them, right?
Well,
so it's not like 15 or 30. It could be 15 up to 30, right? So it could be 20.
They
I don't really know.
They say the first step in all these things is, of course, admitting you have a problem. Are you willing to admit now that many of the times in the past that you claimed you were stone cold sober as a judge, you were in fact lying?
Yes.
When would you say is the most recent time you lied about being sober?
I think it was. Hold on, I have to look at the calendar because I was on a legit 44-day streak. That was not a lie. But then New Year's Eve happened. And it was kind of a little bit obvious that I was drunk on the New Year's Eve show. And then I came back out on the first and basically just no-sold that, to use a wrestling term, and just retcon that from history. So I guess it would be the first, honestly.
Okay. Now, what do you think would help you in your journey to being sober? Because obviously, you've tried, you failed. It's been up and down for you for so many years. What do you think is the biggest block, the roadblock?
That's an excellent question, Jesse. I think it goes deeper, and I don't want to get too philosophical here. Drinking's always been part of the kill stream, really, back to 2018, all those days. And it was no big deal until it was a big deal. And I don't want to lean on my mom passing away and all that. But when she died in 2021, it did I just stopped caring that much about life. And so it's like, yeah, drink up, get wasted. This life thing sucks anyway, and all your fucking friends and family are going to be dead by the time this thing's over. I hate to get too existential here. But I think I never really addressed that, and people who've watched my show for a long time have told me the same thing. Like, you've not been the same really since then. And so I think there's some work to be done on that. I don't want to use the term psychology or anything like that. People think I'm spreading Jewish propaganda or whatever. Who would dare do that?
I don't think missing your mom is spreading Jewish propaganda.
Right. Well, I think it's a deeper issue because most people just have a couple drinks, right? Most like 3 or 4, right? And they get a little buzzed and it's no big deal. And then you have, the 10% of people who are alcoholics who actually power the whole industry, really, because they're alcoholics. So I think addressing some issues with my mom's death. My dad died about a year and a half before that.
Right.
And then, just getting right mentally with my son, which I've been doing, and trying to I know people made the jokes about I couldn't travel to see my son for Christmas and this bullshit warrant and all this stuff. Well, that really did hurt my fucking feelings because those are the best things in my life, those visits with him. And so I think focusing on that and just good things, really. And been going to the cathedral here. I know people are going to laugh about that, but there's a cathedral here in Merida. So just stuff like that.
Do you ever think that maybe it's detrimental to, you say that your son is so important to you and everything, and do you think it's ever detrimental to your health, your life, your relationships, living in Mexico?
Yeah, I do. But I mean, first off, I'm here already. But it's not just the locale. Merida is one of the most beautiful places. The Yucatan Peninsula is one of the most beautiful places on Earth. But you
got a beautiful view of the Gulf of America.
Right. That's right. We're going to change the name. But it's so beautiful here. The people are so nice. I never have any problems. If I get in a little skirmish here and there, things just go away. Right. No big deal. Like I just got through talking about, although that was Tijuana. But I think it is very isolating, particularly because I haven't taken the time to learn Spanish, right? So, you're sitting here isolated, and
I can help you. I speak Spanish. Right? I can help you. So I could help you. I speak Spanish.
I didn't know.
Yeah, ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? That means where's the library?
Yes, I did know the biblioteca part.
You want to try it?
Donde está? Wait, say it again.
Donde está la biblioteca?
Donde está la biblioteca?
Right. And then just, go read some books and don't drink.
Well, my lawyer sent me a video yesterday, and he said, I wonder if I can play it, actually. It won't take but a second, but I laughed because I wasn't expecting it. He's been trying to encourage me to learn Spanish, and it shows this hot Spanish chick, but I'll just play it first.
He's a Mexican lawyer? You got a Mexican lawyer?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
He comes in very handy. Do you like Latina? She says she's hot.
What, you pervert? If you're a dude watching this video, you like Latina chicks probably just as much as I do. The difference between you and I, though, is that you likely have not yet put in the work to become fluent in Spanish.
True.
If you're interested in making 2025 your year to finally learn Espanol, I highly recommend you click the link in my bio and choose one of two.
Now, of course, he's selling something, but he's right. He's right, because I did have a pretty fine piece of shouldn't say that. Shouldn't say it like that. Pretty fine broad here from Guerrero State last year, but if you can't, the language barrier, like if you can't talk, you have to pull out your phone to talk to somebody. It's weird.
All right, try this. Repeat after me. Por favor, no me servas alcohol.
Por favor, no me servas alcohol.
Tengo un problema.
Tengo un problema.
Yeah, just learn that phrase and just say it everywhere you go, okay?
Sin alcohol. I do know that. Sin alcohol. No alcohol.
Right, no alcohol. Now, I wanted to ask you this. Because we were talking, I was asking you if you do you have any plans to ever move back to America?
Yeah, I have a few. Probably. So, I don't know if you know where Rosarita Beach is at. It's like Tijuana, except not as crazy. So I've thought about moving there. I have thought about moving to SoCal, but man, it costs so much money to live there, and it's not really worth it, in my opinion. Now Tijuana, I've had that idea too, but I think that's a terrible mistake, and I'll probably end up dead.
And also not America.
Huh?
And also that's not America.
Yeah, well, that's not America. Yeah, I know. But in that area, just so I can see my son, because I have rights to see my son more than I get to see him. It's a long ass trip to go.
I know it's got to be so tough when you're not being, because I'm a father. I know it's got to be so tough when you're not being able to see your son whenever you want, and all the different problems with that. Have you ever considered just trying to make it work and reconcile? Get the band back together and just.
I don't think that's likely, but I will say that
give her a call. Just give her a call and see.
No, I'm not allowed to do that.
Oh. Okay.
But we do converse about his welfare, and we've been getting along great the last 6 months or so. And I have nothing but good things to say about her as of late. And I said it on Twitter. I think she's a great mother, and we've had a great relationship the last 6 months or so. And that's what I want going forward. Now, I have another situation that I absolutely cannot talk about that I hope that eventually turned into that type of situation too. So.
Right. What if you just worked at a Wendy's?
Well, that would suck, though.
Yeah, but that's like most people have to do something that sucks.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I mean, I've had that question asked, well, why don't you just work at Office Depot or whatever the fuck? I don't think that's what's meant for me, really. And also, I don't disrespect the people who do. I just feel like for me, that's just. I don't know. I feel like I'm a creative.
If you worked at a Wendy's, you could eat a hamburger every once in a while. It'd be fun.
It's true. Gain the weight back. I definitely would gain it back. I do love Wendy's hamburgers. That's true. But I've heard that question asked. Sometimes I talk about this in my show sometimes. it's fun doing this for a living, and great to be able to talk into a microphone and people pay you money, and that's how you pay your bills. That's awesome. But sometimes it's not awesome, and all your stuff's out in the street, and it's like, man, this is a nightmare. And sometimes I get jealous of those, regular folk quite often, actually, where it's like, man, it would be so much easier if my life was just normal, right?
Maybe do a month. Just work at a Wendy's for a month and like secretly record yourself there, flipping the hamburgers and stacking the Dave's doubles and stuff.
They added a Wendy's to Merida, by the way.
All right, it's perfect.
Yeah,
and it'll keep you out of the house. You won't be drinking there on the job.
That's right. That's right.
I think this could help, and then it might look good in the eyes of certain people, and you can really grease some wheels this way, and maybe even get some good content out of it. Show people like you're a man of the people. You're a humble guy.
It's true. I don't think that's a terrible idea, actually.
I think a whole series of Ethan working like. What was that? Like that Mike Rowe.
What was the CBS show? Yeah. I can't, not CBS, but Discovery or whatever the fuck. Yeah, Mike Rowe does it. Or
yeah, you go in there, you do some. I'm not saying you got to do the fucking work in a sewer, although that might be good. I would like to see that actually. You traipsing around in a sewer. All that kind of shit.
I know you're joking, but like, sometimes I do get jealous of the regular life. There's a reason people live regular lives.
Yeah.
And they don't live this insane, just fucking, I don't even know how, you can't even describe this to regular people. Like they just,
I know.
Can hardly even concept it.
Yeah, I know. When normal people ask me what I do, I tell them I'm a graphic designer. I don't even want to.
No shit. I always tell them I work online is what I usually say, or I work on computers. And then if I really start talking to them, I maybe tell them a little bit, but even then, it might be a long time before I tell them what I really do, because it's so crazy, and there's a lot of lies about me, but there's truths about me out there too, right? Like, and it's like, okay, they can't even parse the difference between like the lore, the insane lore people have made up, and like the really fucked up shit that I've done.
It's gotta kill you inside though to not be able to tell them, like, I'm on the Gamergate Mount Rushmore, right? I'm right.
I know.
I'm a big evil skull on Mount Rushmore next to fucking Sargon of a god.
Maybe I'll try that with Marisol tomorrow, and I'll show her that print out there. It's me, Sargon, Adam Baldwin.
Everybody
Milo,
remembers him.
Yeah.
Adam, everybody's favorite guy, Adam Baldwin. I have no fucking clue. We were looking at that Mount Rushmore thing on the last episode of the show, and nobody in the chat could even name who that guy was. Not one person knew who that was. Crazy.
Unfortunately, I do know who that is. I don't think he's an official Baldwin brother though, but he was some actor on some Josh Whedon show.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the name of it. I didn't watch it. It wasn't Buffy, or Angel. It was another one. And so, not that I watched those either, but my girlfriend did make me watch some Buffy one time. But and he was also on like this Navy show on TNT. I forget the fucking name of that too. But
that's him. While you're here, do you want to say anything to your enemies? Cog, the Keno Casino, the Broke Dick Farm. Oh, are you friends with? No, when you're trying to get sober, you become friends with Josh Moon again, right? Is that how that works?
I saw people say that. They're like, "Whoa, Ralph said Cutie Farms was right." No, I don't really have anything to say to those guys. I also feel like focusing on the negative. You asked me this question earlier, but focusing on, there's going to be negative haters out there every day, talking shit. And I think a more positive focus. I have a lot of people who like me too, believe it or not, and checked in on me earlier this week. And are you doing okay? And can I help you? And what do you need? And I think focusing more on the positivity and less on the negativity of somebody like, you know, a cog who's a complete fucking loser. Let's be real. And
true.
You know, I know you're cool with the casino freaks, and
I
that's
don't
fine.
know if that's even true. I don't
really.
I'm fine with them. I don't really hear from them. You know, that went on there that one time, and I was a pickle.
Yeah,
and that
I remember.
So I don't really know what goes. Ever since then, it's been kind of
a little.
I mean, I went on again after that, but I think PPP is, you know, a little. I think Andy likes me, but I don't know. Because their show is they got a weird show, you know. Because I don't know if you know. Have you ever seen this? Every show of the Kino Casino is the best show ever. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen. You can't believe it. Because every time, here's how I know. You know, I follow them on Twitter, and then they will say, like, we've got a show coming out. You've seen these tweets, right?
Yes.
And it's a video, and they're already sitting there going like this, like they have an idle animation, you know? Like they're a video game character. Yeah, actually, hey, can we do that for a second? Wait, you be PPP and I'll be Andy, right? And so you have to go like this.
I don't even know if I can.
This is PPP. Okay.
Whoa! PPP.
So
it's like the old. I know I relate everything to wrestling, but it's like the old WCW Nitro formula. Like, main event is the greatest main event of all time, and you can't miss tonight's show. Well, you can only do that so many times, and you burn out your audience. I don't know. They're doing okay, seems like, but
well, you know, I don't normally do daily shows, but I started doing daily shows here recently, and like honestly, every episode I've done has been crazier than this episode is the craziest episode that I've done in the past week and a half. But for their show, you know, they go live quite a bit. And then every single time they're like, you've never seen anything as insane as this. And then it's just like you wiped your nose or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or what's Review Tech up to? I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know. Of course, I don't like those guys, but just from a critical standpoint too, like it sucks. I don't know.
It is unfair.
Like, it's slop.
I don't want to talk bad about. I like them, all right, and I think people.
Well, that's fine, but I mean, the content is what I'm saying. Like,
it is slop, but it's slop tent. That's what. But that's most internet shit. But here's what I'm saying.
True.
Here's what I'm saying. I think of PPP the same way I think of you, in that whether or not either of you like me, you're entertainers, and it's fun to watch. And but here's the thing: is PPP. I think it's a bit unfair to you because he is like 3 to 4 times fatter than you've ever been in your whole life. And yet somehow he's allowed. Like, that's just okay. And meanwhile, you've lost all this weight. And then what is the deal with, and then I go on, I'm a pickle. He's mad. You would think a big fat guy would like something to eat. But and again, that's not shade on
it either because like he's literally like 300 plus pounds bigger than me. Like I don't even like I'm 180 pounds. He is damn near 500 pounds. Like he's got to be.
Because
like,
here's the thing. I legitimately, whether you believe this or not, I don't care. I legitimately don't want you or anybody to be on drugs and drinking and having a bad time. I understand that sometimes those are the moments that lead to the funniest things or whatever, but that's not worth it. In the same way, I don't want PPP to be fucking 500 pounds. Like the guy's going to die. You know what I mean? I want him to lose all the. I want you to teach him your secrets of losing it. Maybe find out if his tits are bifurcated as well. Who knows what's going on?
I mean, literally, I'll tell you the secrets. It's counting your calories. It's walking. I did mine by eating 1 meal a day, but you don't have to do that strict. You can eat, 2 meals a day or 3, eat throughout the day, healthy snacks and stuff like that. There's a million different ways to do it. Exercise is key, but really it's diet. Diet is so far like above exercise. It's crazy. So really it's just his diet and cut out soda, cut out sugar, and he would lose 100 pounds like within, I don't even know, 3 or 4 months probably.
It's interesting. We've had our back and forth And, it's always something wild, something funny. I think it's always worth it. And, you wanted to pee on my brother's grave that one time.
Who didn't exist, by the way. But anyway, go ahead.
My brother exists. He just didn't die.
He didn't die, though. That's the thing. Yeah. There was no grave. There was no
grave. Yeah. Pat Dixon was like, yeah, go piss on his grave. And I'm like, I thought we were friends, Pat Dixon. What the fuck? That was crazy. So anyway, yeah, my brother did not die. But by the way, sorry to everybody who I convinced my brother was dead and they gave me their heartfelt stories about their own passing relatives and stuff. That felt bad, but it was just to make this guy freak out and it worked. So anyway,
it did.
But the point is, we've done all sorts of crazy things with each other. We've gone back and forth vacillating. Oh, are we on the same side or not? And, to me, it doesn't even matter. Any of this stuff. I had you come on the show that one time to host it. It didn't work out. I didn't think it was that big a deal, to be honest. I was fine, but, whatever. There was some hurt feelings. No big deal. My point is, with all of this stuff, you do this, you sort of vacillate with a lot of people back and forth on if you're on the same side or not. In fact, in our DMs, you almost sort of even say that. You're like, it's time to flip the script and, realign, make some new alliances and things like that. And we've talked about that sort of thing before. You've done it with Josh Moon. You've done it with, countless other people in the sector. I'm just wondering, is it impossible to do it with the Kino Casino boys? Because how crazy would that be? How crazy would it be? A team up, Kino Casino, Ethan Ralph. I know they don't want to do it, by the way, and I know you don't want to do it. They won't do it. Here, that's the crazy. All right, this is what makes me think of it. The craziest part to me is they would not do it. And to me, and again, I think you would do it.
I would do it.
And to me, I think that when I hear that a guy won't do something as crazy as that, which would be it's content cucking. We were talking about it earlier. And
yes. And that's why I showed up, because I was like, man, I can't be a bitch like that.
Right.
I have to show up. Yeah.
To me, it's a fear thing to not do something like that. And again, I like them. I'm not calling them out here, but I am saying, how do we make this happen? Because it would be insane for that to happen. And obviously,
just me and PvP on the same screen, that would be insane.
Wild.
And of course, I hate the son of a bitch, but that would make it even better, right? But yeah, I don't think they're interested in that. But there's not too many content opportunities that I turned down, really. I almost turned down tonight because I wasn't sure if I wanted to come out here and, these are my friends for a long time, and I don't feel good about it. Jesse, this is a bad feeling.
I knew it. I knew you would be of two minds about it. And this is the one thing that does scare me in a similar vein. I'm afraid you're going to, at the drop of a hat, go running back to that Dick Masterson. In the same way that you'll flip the script on everybody else. I'm afraid you're going to go back to, this man is using you, and he's not using you in the fun, funny way where everybody's in on the same joke. He is straight up behind the scenes, talking shit, using you, pretending to your face that he's your friend in a way well beyond anybody else who's done anything like this with you. And I don't want to see you going back.
Somebody told me right before the call, and I have no reason to believe this, but they said, and again, I can't speak fully on this issue, but they said, didn't you think it was curious that, that whole relationship blow up thing happened while you were at Dick's house? Isn't that a little strange? And he has ties in that area with that person. Isn't that a little crazy that happened? Now, I don't think that happened, honestly, but I was like, man, are people really thinking this deep about that never even occurred to me. And I was like, no, I never have thought it, but now I am. I am considering it, at least.
It is super fucked up too for you to go. Obviously, you didn't just go out there just for that, but you're already all the way out there. He books the whole thing while you are in LA. He cancels. It's that's a pretty big fall through of plans. And there's got to be something deeper there, whether it was PODAWFUL scaring him off, whether it was actually what he said it was, or some third option like you're referring to here. It's a very, very telling behavior. And the running fucking...
Well, it's disrespect is what it is.
It's
disrespect.
The running joke, though, with Dick Masterson and every single thing he's ever done with you as like a big public event is he's always like breaking his arm or breaking his leg and
can barely make it. Yeah,
getting out of there. He
has been at some events, but he's always got an injury, can't hardly make it or whatever.
Well, I mean, Ethan, I had some henchmen at your bowling event. Obviously, you know that.
Yes, I do.
And Dick Masterson was there, and he left because he hurt his leg. You recall that?
No, he tore his bicep. And he really did tear his bicep. Yeah.
Ethan, my guys saw with their own eyes him perfectly fine immediately before and after that. There was he came up and he said
telling me that whole thing was faked.
I would not lie about this. Because this is.
But did he wear a brace on air for a while? He wore
it's a sling. It's like the type
it's
of.
like a sling. Yeah, you're right.
It's the type of sling that you would have in your house anyway, just in case. Like some people keep those things in their medical kit. He never even went to a doctor, and that shit was bullshit. I'm telling you, this has been the case the whole time. I've been calling this out for years now. At this point, that this dude is fucking with you in this way. And everybody else has too. And I know you're in too deep to see it, and it hurts. It's gotta hurt.
Well, I've never even considered it, really, because he's like, I looked at him and, he was holding his arm. He's like, I'm hurt. I don't know. He's a friend of mine. I'm like, why would he lie about this? Like, it just doesn't even occur to me. Really.
He was laughing with his girlfriend about it in the parking lot because, there's the bomb. But by the way, the bomb threat was not me.
He did go to the parking lot, by the way. I did see that, but I didn't see him laughing. But I do know he was in the parking lot.
I have footage
you had
of
spies
it.
Everywhere.
They're out there. I've got footage of him sneaking off, trying to get out of there. And they were already, this is according to things I heard, they were already saying before the supposed arm injury, hey, let's get out of here. We don't want to stick around much longer. Let's fucking blow this joint. And then all of a sudden it's an arm injury and all this other stuff. And again, he did that with several different events of yours. I don't know. Bad guy. Not a good guy. The way it depends on how you look at this, your point of view. The way he sort of snaked Maddox, it's the same kind of thing. I know all the behind the scenes shit on all that stuff. I was there for all that. And, Maddox thought, and whatever you think of Maddox is a good guy. He really is. He's not a bright guy. He's not the brightest dude. And he's bad at taking good advice, which maybe you know something about.
I do know a lot about that, actually.
He's a funny guy. He's a nice guy.
No, he is funny.
But he's not the best when it comes to stuff like this. Maddox legitimately believed that they were best friends, that they were very good friends. He was sort of, in a way, groomed by Dick Masterson, and he's certainly probably the oldest person that Dick Masterson has groomed, but not the only one. And the thing is, he legitimately was blindsided by the whole ordeal. And when you really look at it through that lens, when you look back at all that shit that happened, it starts to make sense why he wouldn't say anything. You know what I'm talking about? Like when he was quiet about all this shit while Dick was announcing
for all those years, and Dick was setting the narrative the whole time because he was embarrassed by it. I guess
you're a very different guy to Maddox in that.
Well, yeah,
in that you want to shout this shit from the rooftops.
Yeah, if that happened to me, I would.
But this is what but Ethan, this is what I'm saying. It did happen to you. You are in it right now. And that hesitation you had about coming on and doing this tonight, it was the same thing that made Maddox hesitate when it came to telling his side of the story. And now here we are fucking 9 years later. He's finally told people what's going on. And of course, Dick got his video taken down. He copyright struck it or whatever he did. He reported it. That is, you are right now, and I don't mean this to be offensive, Maddox. Okay, you
doesn't
are.
offend me. Maddox was very successful. Like that doesn't offend me.
Yes.
But
yes.
I've never, like I said, I would just never expect a friend to do something like that. And I guess Maddox didn't expect that either. Right. And so, I don't know how big a users, and it's a tag team effort too, by the way. It's not just him. And, it is a painful feeling. Like, I don't want to sit here and like go, too deep with it, but it's like,
I think it's an emotional thing. I can tell you're emotional over it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I was in LA. All right, yeah, I was a little drunk on Friday. We had an event set up on Saturday. You just canceled it with no like fanfare at all. Wasn't responding to my messages. It's like, this guy has no respect for me whatsoever.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then fuck you.
Yeah. You put out a controversial tweet right before the show. If you don't mind, I'm going to read a little bit of it. You said, you know what? Fuck Harry Morris. Obviously, he's a piece of shit. But he contacted Dick Masterson early on when it was clear I was spiraling. And I have been spiraling for a long time with spells of good time, LOL. He said, hey, this guy is your friend. Don't you think you should talk to him and get him help? Dick was like, fuck off, boomer loser. And I saw him do this. Fuck off, boomer loser. Stay out of Redacted's affairs. And at the time, I laughed very hard. But I don't think it's as funny anymore, since my life could be a lot different if he had. He's about the only one. This is the line that got me. He's about the only one I would have listened to at that time, which I do believe. I think that's probably true even up until just a couple days ago.
I think, well, yeah, I was still pretty much now, but, I remember when that happened. And for people, Harry Morris, I can't talk about the whole situation, but I can say his name.
Yeah.
And a lot of people know the lore. And, we were already arguing, me and him and all this. And he said, hey, Dick, your friend is like hurting here, like bad. He's struggling with substances, and that ain't the only thing he's struggling with. Not dealing with his mom debt. Like he needs help. Like you could help him. Like it would take just a talk from you to help this guy and help save his relationship and help save his life, really. And I remember Dick said, yeah, fuck off, boomer, stay out of so-and-so's life, and you just want to interfere. And at the time, I thought it was hilarious because I was like, oh, classic Dick. Yeah, fuck him. Fuck Harry Morris. But the more I thought about that, and I thought about, and again, it's not blaming Dick. It was still me who did the drugs. It's still me who fucked up the relationship. That some of his fans took it as
a lot of people in the replies were saying like, well,
they're like, oh, Ralph's blaming Dick. No, it was still me who did all that. But imagine what a word of that nature would have done.
You say, in fairness, you say in the tweet, obviously I'm a grown man and I'm responsible for my own life. At the end of the day, it is what it is. But the callous disregard, it's like he wanted the content instead of my physical and mental health. And he's, again, outright said that in the phone call with Milo. I think this is like, if you drop all the internet shit, you're like being a normal guy thinking about it from a normal point of view. People don't look at you as a human being because you're an internet man.
That's right.
Which is, true of me sometimes too, even though I'm an internet
dehumanized. Man. Yeah.
And any normal person talking about their friends, their normal guys that they know or whatever would understand this instantly. But yeah, if the one guy that, you think is your buddy and is the guy that you would listen to for good advice, if he's like, fuck it, you're doing the right thing and you're in a fucking spiral, then yeah, that could have changed everything. It was an opportunity to change everything. And I do think that I think it was worse than he was being callous. And I think it was worse than he was even trying to be funny. I think it was literally that he was trying to...
Don't fuck up my money. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you have been one of, if not the top sort of Maddox replacement for him for a while. Eric July obviously up there too, but as far as like actually coming in studio and everything, Vito, by the way, is that as well. Pretty much everybody that he deals with is basically that. Riley, his little guy Riley. I mean, he utilizes these people like Riley and all of these sort of minions that he's got to do his dirty work and to. I know from my personal dealing with Dick Masterson, where I got my Patreon taken down, that his modus operandi is to go, well, I didn't do it. I never told anybody.
Audience did it. Somebody else did it. Yeah.
As if he didn't tell him to do it, even though he did tell him to do it. And even if it's not in so many words, he told him, And in the same way, it's like, well, if Eric July's got a problem with Dick Masterson, it's because Dick Masterson tells, or at least encourages through, celebrating the actions of Riley. It's maybe not him commanding him, but it's him encouraging
him. Yeah. Jinx. We said at the same time, but it is like that. And Eric July, I made fun of him, and some of his videos are hilarious. Like,
sure,
in a bad way, right? Like, I've laughed at some of them. It's like business, right? And all this stuff. But I mean, what has Eric July really done except make a shitty comic book or 2 or 3 or whatever? Like, I mean, it's just an easy target, and he's black.
He also has made like $1 million or something.
Right?
It's not like with Maddox where like he lost a bunch of money and like kind of fell off. It's like Eric July seems to be killing it despite all odds, and also this campaign to fucking go against it. I mean, I don't give a shit. I don't like his comics.
You know what he was trying to do, and he didn't tell me this, but I think he was trying to bait Eric July into suing him.
Yes,
that's what he really wanted to do.
Well,
and he almost got him to do it, actually.
Yeah.
And thank God for Eric July, he didn't, because that would have been a cash cow. That's how Dick hit the lottery by Maddox suing him.
Yeah,
that's really what happened. Maddox, had a case, really. But, bad lawyer, wrong jurisdiction, all this stuff. And, he screwed the pooch. But he had a case. He had a good case. And, he wanted Eric July to sue him. And he saw how much money Eric July was making. And he's like, here, I'm going to get some of his money. All these donations. The Patreon's not going to be $15K anymore. It's going to be $35K again. Right? Like, I know what he was thinking because known him for 6 years. I could tell exactly where he was going.
People don't realize just how litigious Dick himself is. Dick has sued other people fairly frivolously as well. He made some money, or I don't remember if he won the case, and I think he might have actually lost it, but he sued one of his former employers. You can look this up if you know his real name, find it pretty easily. He sued one of his former employers in like a very nakedly obvious attempting to just get a quick buck.
Lawfare. Yeah,
lawfare kind of thing. And this is something he does. And Maddox is finally even kind of woken up to this and realized, like, I told him forever, don't sue him. Before the lawsuit, I was like, don't do it. Do not do it. It's a bad idea. He's baiting you. I didn't realize just how bad it was. But
well, nobody could predict it.
No. But I've seen Maddox tweet out recently. I don't really talk to him anymore. I've seen him tweet out saying that the biggest problem in the Universe podcast that Dick and Vito do together, the entire point of it, the only reason for its existence, is to bait Maddox into suing him again over the copyright. Because, and by the way, that trademark thing is bullshit. Dick Masterson has zero right to that trademark, I would say. I would argue zero. 50-50, whatever, maybe. But I would argue zero. It's obviously Maddox's brand. Maddox came up with the whole thing. He invented the podcast.
And Web 1.0 days. Like,
Yeah.
like,
the whole
it goes
in
way
the,
back.
the in the universe thing.
The
is
biggest page
Maddox's.
in the universe. Yeah.
So he now finally understands that like this is bait, but how insane is it if you think about it that this podcast? I mean, yeah, obviously he's making money off of it too, but it basically exists as this eternal bait to lure Maddox. Think of what that means for Vito. Like this thing only, like Vito is like a clown along for the ride. He's like this circus performer just for Dick's bizarre whim of trying to make this Maddox thing happen. And it really leads me to wonder, Dick's entire current like modern day career is owed to Maddox. His podcast is, all because Maddox fucked up. It's the only reason he gets to have the biggest problem is the only one people are listening to and making money. The Dick Show isn't really bringing in anybody anymore. That thing fucking fell off. And when it is hitting, it's because he's talking about Maddox.
Maddox, yes.
His girlfriend, his pregnant girlfriend, is Maddox's ex-girlfriend. It's the only reason they're together is because they bonded over a mutual thing for Maddox. One of the most insane relationships I've ever heard of in my entire life. And so I'm wondering, like, shouldn't they just go ahead and announce that they're going to name their baby George?
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't rule it out. Would you? Like, dude, I don't know. When you describe it that way, I didn't realize they bonded over their like common love for Maddox. I knew she was, his ex, and he was his fanboy and all that. But
yeah, Dick tells the story a little differently. But there's this famous incident, this famous story that Dick used to tell as if 80s Girl is not the girl in the story, where. This wedding that they all went to.
Yeah. I've heard the wedding story once.
Well, that's 80s Girl there. Maddox was there with his girlfriend at the time, Metal Jess, who's the crazy, supposedly crazy one who reported 80s Girl's job and everything like that. Anyway, but long before all of that stuff, while they were at the wedding, while Maddox was there with his current girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, crazy 80s Girl, was there trying to get him back, trying to win him back. She was begging him. This is what actually happened. I know this is true because Maddox's girlfriend at the time said she saw this happen. But she told me this long after they were no longer together. And she had no reason to like stick up for Maddox at this point. And so she went home, 80s Girl went home with Dick, literally to break up Maddox and Dick. To break them, to hurt Maddox.
Yeah.
It was just to hurt him. And Dick isn't actually friends with anybody, so he did it. Some guys would say there's some sort of bro code or like a friend thing where you at the very least ask ahead of time. But not, but Dick Masterson, the guy who's sort of built this, persona and career off of being this, man advice guy, this men are better than women. You would think this would be the first guy to have some sort of bro code, but it ain't there. There's nothing there. I think the only bro code he has is like who's the bottom and who's the top. So
if they don't make dollars, it don't make sense with him. I do know that, and. He's really, it's to an insane degree, too. And the whole thing with Maddox, I used to just accept the party line. Really, I only started thinking about it today, and I was like, this whole Maddox thing. And I know that sounds crazy, right? Because it's like a cult thing almost. Like he's created this narrative for years and years and years. And Maddox, the bald guy, and he's weird and da 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 da, and he's lying about this and he's lying about that. And then like you look into it a little bit, and I watched that Maddox video, and even then I was thinking about it a little bit, and I was like, I don't know, this doesn't sound so. Now there were some weird animations in there a little bit, but
Yeah, Maddox does make those animations. So.
But like, I don't know. I don't know that Dick Masterson really cares about anybody else on Earth except himself.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I think it's obviously true. The fuck, I was just about to ask you something. Now I've completely blanked on it. But you know, I fear that you will go back, and I'm saying it now. I hope that you don't. I hope you saying that you feel like sort of this veil has been lifted. You know, again, I tried to warn the world on your show. What was that? 5 years ago or something.
5 years ago, and you've been A-logging me ever since because I kicked you off the show.
And muted me and potted down my audio and all that kind of stuff. And allowed 5 guys to scream over top of it. All I'm asking, Ethan, was I right?
You're right. And I was happy to be here tonight.
Happy to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, Ethan Ralph. Thank you so much.
Hello, sir. Thank you.
Have a good one, man.
You too, brother.
Support the show. Join the Pizza Fund. PodAwful.pizza. Pizza. PodAwful.pizza.
I think it's perfectly fair to say Ethan Ralph sober as a judge the entire episode. I don't think we ever got anywhere else. You'll love to see it. I'm happy to be here. H2BH. I wish him the best. I don't care. I don't care what people think. Is he a good guy? No. Is he a funny guy? Sometimes. Is he an entertaining guy? When he's mostly sober. So you should kind of hope the same thing too if you like these internet characters. I hope we got a good amount of, of the secret inside info. I mean, how insane is it to find out that Ethan Ralph has seen with his own eyes Dick and Marie dress up as cows in real life. Now, if you didn't know the story about Dick Masterson and the guy from The Room, Greg Sestero, this has been a thing I've known about since, I think, 2016. I was told this story for the first time. I know it's true. I've had many people confirm, many people who know him in real life confirm that they know it's true. The murdering a cat thing is real. And if you want to test for yourself, if you don't believe me, I never ask anybody to actually trust anything I say. How could you? I'm a troll. Go ahead and use my methods to find out. A little bit of tricknology. Try this one out. I've done it myself. Make your name Greg Sestero on YouTube and go ahead and watch an episode live of The Biggest Problem in the Universe. Head on over to that chat room and, let Dick know that Greg Sestero's watching. Send in a super chat. I don't care. You could send him $5 or whatever. Make him read a super chat from Greg Sestero. Hey, how's my cat doing? Give it a shot and see how fast you're fucking banned. We'll be back tomorrow for another episode. Join the Pizza Fund, PodAwful.pizza, and get immediate access to all of our banned content from YouTube, our premium episodes, and a lot more. We're going to have tomorrow, tomorrow, whatever the show is, we'll do a pod after show for the Pizza Funders. And then on Wednesday, we'll do a primo episode as well. So you're going to want to join that. PodAwful.pizza. Until next time, thanks everybody for tuning in and have an awful day.
It's not true.
That's not true.
Sad.